band is fired up here at Central Michigan, and why not? They had a huge win on the road at Oklahoma State. Central at home against a Mountain West opponent today, the Rebels from UNLV. Welcome inside to Kelly Short Stadium. Dan Gutowski with former Ohio State defensive back Dustin Fox. Dustin, Tony Sanchez has really turned around this Rebel football culture in a very short time, hasn't he?
It was a little bit of a risk to go out and get him. He's a former high school coach, won 6 straight state championships in the state of Nevada. He can recruit. He understands young people. They won 3 games last season. They're on their way to a lot more victories this year, and they've got a lot of talent on this roster. 2
teams come in with a lot of offensive firepower. Devontae Boyd is the guy for UNLV that really can make good things happen.
Well, those are the 2 stars of this game. Devontae Boyd on your left, Cooper Rush on your right. Let's start with Boyd. He's a guy who has over 1,800 yards receiving in 2 seasons for the Rebels. He is an NFL talent at wide receiver. There's no doubt about it. 9 100-yard games as well. And then let's flip it over to the Chippewas. Cooper Rush is an NFL talent. A lot of people believe he's a mid-round pick from right now. He can move up into the 2nd round potentially in April in the draft. He's a guy who had a big win last week, 367 yards passing. Oh, by the way, remember the Bahamas Bowl? He threw for 7 touchdown passes.
Central Michigan trying to ride the wave of momentum from that huge win last Saturday at Oklahoma State. Can UNLV slow them down today? Our kickoff coming up from Mount Pleasant in a moment. It's the Rebels and the Chippewas next on ESPN3.
Because we're known for our manners, they think we can't be unforgiving. Because we work out on a frozen tundra, they think we won't bring the heat. And you know what we say? Nothing at all. Here, on our turf, on our field, we keep our heads down and our eyes up. And no matter what we face, we answer with sweat. Because action speaks louder than words.
Yeah, I ride. One thing I've come to realize, there's no easier way to save on motorcycle insurance than switching to Geico. Saving money, that's something every rider should do.
What is that?
It's called ceviche, Gary. Learned to make it when I lived in Tonga.
Tastes like chicken.
You should get out more. Chicken.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
Perhaps if chickens bothered to fly, they'd have more meat on those wings. Until then, Arby's will dip this in buffalo sauce. Arby's, we have the meats.
Tony Sanchez in his 2nd season. The record's not great, but he says he's got to improve tackling today. That's the key that they didn't do well against UCLA in that loss on the road last week. His counterpart, John Bonamigo. Oh, what a week he's had, celebrating that win. Not for too long, though. They cleared it out of their system Saturday night. He says, hey, it's only an upset if you didn't believe it would happen. But we believe it would happen, so it's not an upset for us. And his team is hoping to parlay and build off of it today. Bonamigo's been great in his 2nd season now. Was a lot of NFL experience. Yeah. He's been a real good coach at a lot of different levels, a lot of different places, and he brings a lot to this CMU football culture.
Well, as an alumni, obviously it's important for him to have success here. So get a look at the officials this afternoon.
Yeah, Tom Stapleton, our official today, and of course, weather conditions have played out very well here with some rain lingering in the mid-Michigan area earlier today. That has all passed through, and now it's time for some football here, and we should have a very football-friendly weather the rest of the day here in Mount Pleasant. Central Michigan, you know their crowd was celebrating big time at the end of last Saturday's game. That huge finish against Oklahoma State. We'll revisit that later on. The coin toss, UNLV winning the flip at midfield. they will receive. So the Rebels want to go on offense first, trying to get their offense back in rhythm and tempo. They had a good start in their opener against Jackson State. Could not follow up with that performance on the road at UCLA. So Tony Sanchez thinks this is the bounce back game for his Rebels team. Kickoff caught right at the goal line. And Rebels get a return out to about the 16 or 17-yard line. What is UNLV going to try and do early on offense on this first series?
Well, Dan, I think if they're smart, they'll come out here and try and take some shots down the field. And that's exactly what they did last week against UCLA. They have some big-time athletes on the outside, and they need to take advantage of that and try and test this Chippewa secondary early in this game.
Johnny Stanton coming in at quarterback with a pretty good resume. Again, it's hard to evaluate your performances from week 1 to week 2, given the quality of your opponents. But he hopes he can get back to what he did well on week 1. The run on first down only generates 1 yard. The UNLV running game led by Lexington Thomas. He's the guy they want to get a lot of touches for. And Malik Fountain on the stop for Central Michigan. We take a look at our impact players. No surprise, the quarterback wide receiver combo. We got Lexington Thomas and Josh Cox for the Central Michigan Chippewas. He's a stud defender. Second down throw, dropped. Oh, they could have had a first down there. They were looking for Tim Holt, the tight end, who doesn't get a lot of balls thrown to him. That's not a good play for UNLV. It brings up 3rd and long.
Well, Holt's got to come up with that catch. Obviously, he's going to have a lot more action this week. Coach mentioned this week they have some injuries at the wide receiver position. They want to try and get him more involved. Ball thrown a little bit behind him, but he's got to come up with that catch. That would have been a first down, and now UNLV's put in a situation where they're 3rd and long.
From their 18-yard line, Stanton's got some time. He'll throw. It is caught underneath, and they're going to get the first down and a whole bunch more. Good hookup with Darren Woods on the ball and on the money, and UNLV moves the chains. That's a big lift for them offensively to stay on the field.
Yeah, Dan, a lot of cushion on the outside, and this is just a throw right to the sticks to Darren Woods. Good job by Stanton going through his progression. He almost thought about taking off with that thing and running for the first down, but Woods sits right down at the sticks, makes a man miss, gets upfield, picks up the big first down.
They move that ball to the 39-yard line. UNLV can take a breath offensively. They're in good shape. Stanton, near side, almost intercepted. That was dangerous. He was looking for Boyd.
Stanton's pass is incomplete, intended on the play for 83.
So Central Michigan trying to create a turnover, and they got close to one there. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10 coming up for the Rebels.
Not have that one intercepted. Certainly the first drive of the game, you want to try and get something going. But the last thing you want is an interception and allow.
They're going to keep and run and not get much, maybe a couple yards on that carry. Lexington Thomas on the carry.
Malik Fountain in on the stop for Central
Malik
Michigan.
Fountain making the stop for Central Michigan.
Coming up for
A
the
very
Rebels.
boisterous CMU home crowd. They were overjoyed with the finish, but for John Bonamigo, that is not a season-defining effort. They've got to build on it. Here's Stanton running and staying up. Very close to a first down. Might have gotten there just shy of midfield. CMU secondary doing a good job covering downfield, but he comes up about a yard short, and UNLV will have to punt.
For UNLV.
And the Chippewas will get their return set up. UNLV punting from about midfield. And they're going to let that ball go. Evan Pantels, they keep it out of the end zone. Great cover by UNLV. Evan Pantels handles all of the kicking duties for UNLV, and he just put a beautiful hit down there. Central Michigan's going to start with very bad field position at their own 2-yard line. Not the way that Cooper Rush wants to start his offense, but that's the way it's going to go. Rush had a very solid game last week against Oklahoma State. Everyone focused on the last play of the game, but that wasn't on a fluke that Central Michigan was within striking distance at the end. You can see his numbers are excellent. They run on first down. They get a little push in the middle, outside the 5 to about the 8-yard line.
The ball carrier. Tackled on the play by
Central
11,
ran the
Troy
football very
Hawthorne.
well. This is a team that's got a lot of balance. They're not going to rely on one or two guys. Devon Spalding is the featured runner when the Chips have the football on the ground.
Given 5 on the play, it'll be 2nd and 5 for CMU.
5-yard gain on first down. Tyler Conklin, watch him. He's going to get a lot of passes thrown his way. Central running outside the 10.
Spalding once again the ball carrier.
Spalding again the ball carrier for CMU.
Corey McTire.
Outside the 10-yard line. So a lot of challenges for this Central Michigan team today. One component, they're hoping their offensive line can play better.
Coming up for the Chippewas.
More running lanes opened up for the running backs and more time for Cooper Rush to throw. John Bonamigo said that was not an area where his team stood out last week. 3rd down and just a little bit. They toss and they get the edge, and not enough for a first down as Spalding gets taken from behind.
There's our impact player.
And there's the impact player defensively for the Rebels. With Ryan McEleenan, who is a senior, 6'2", 220. A lot of good things happen when he's on the field for UNLV. And Central Michigan, they're punting now with Cooper Moshenko standing in his own end zone. So the Chips cannot deliver offensively on the first series, and UNLV set for a good return. Oh, he gets blocked right in the end zone. The Rebels cover for a touchdown. UNLV, the big play on special teams.
Punt is blocked. Recovered in the end zone. That'll be a touchdown for UNLV.
Charles Williams is the one who covers the football in the end zone. Oh, Central Michigan, just a horrible mistake on special teams. And just like that, well, some days the football gods smiling on you. Other days, not so much. Point after attempt is good, and the Rebels get on the board first here in Mount Pleasant in a very unlikely way. 7-0 is our lead for the visiting Rebels from Nevada. Williams recovering the block punt in the end zone for the UNLV score.
We are more than the strength of our programs, more than our technology, more than our training and our tools. But what makes us more? We are heart and harmony, the sum of all our experiences. We are courage and character, learners who lead the way. Our stamp is more than what we have, it's who we have. Put your stamp on the world.
What are you doing?
Sarah, I love you.
It's my brother. Keep going.
Sarah, were you married?
What do you want, Todd?
If you sit on your phone, you butt dial people. That's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I know, we just met like 2 months ago.
There are a few who move toward the sounds of tyranny in injustice and despair. They are the few, the proud, the Marines. Perhaps if chickens bothered to fly, they'd have more meat on those wings. Until then, Arby's will dip this in buffalo sauce. Arby's, we have the meat.
A car should only be measured by one thing. How it makes you feel. The all-new Infiniti Q60. Infiniti, empower the drive.
And you're back, go.
A special teams mistake helping UNLV. Well, it's no fun punting out of your end zone, and now we know why, as Charles Williams is the recoverer on that block kick in the end zone. One mistake, and that's enough to get UNLV on the board. And that'll put Evan Pantel's kicking off. That may be on a more positive note, I guess, if you're Central Michigan. That might be enough to kind of kickstart what you did offensively or what you didn't do offensively. Maybe a chance to kind of refocus, recalibrate.
Well, better wake you up here if you're a Central Michigan player right now, because that's not a good way to start the game, obviously. And maybe this will do it, Dan.
Here's a big return. Mark Chapman from his 11-yard line gets it out beyond the 40, almost to midfield.
How about that early in this game, special teams becoming a huge factor. And it's a good return by Chapman here. This is what they needed. Not a very good kick, but lets his blocker set up, gets upfield, makes a man miss. Little wiggle, and then gets out near the 45-yard line. This is great field position for the Chippewas to start.
So they're going to spot the ball at the 44. Central Michigan trying to overcome the special teams mistake. And Cooper Rush trying to get this CMU offense focused. He'll throw on first down. Deep ball near side and incomplete. Central Michigan aggressively looking downfield. Anthony Rice on the intended pass there, but just a little bit too much heat on that football from Cooper Rush.
Hey Dan, they got man coverage across the board from UNLV, and Tim Huff in the slot on Anthony Rice, and I think it was a good call by the Chippewas and Cooper Rush taking a shot on first down. You want to try and let them know that you've got some speed on the outside too.
Pretty strong wind here at Central Michigan today. A decent breeze and a great crowd here. Second down. Rush throwing. That's complete to Chapman, far side. A flag, though, near midfield.
Is caught by Mark Chapman.
Chapman on the grab after the great special teams return, but is it coming back?
Pass interference. Offense, number 83. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
So it's going the wrong way for CMU.
Well, this is not the way you want to start the first half of this game, especially after last week's big win. But it was a little bit of a pick right there, and that's an easy call. So they're going to get backed up here on second down.
Torrey McTire on the tackle for UNLV, but the Chippewas get pushed all the way back to their 29, brings up third down and 29. Rush, a little safety pass and a clean tackle in the flat. Wow, did UNLV have that covered? They throw to Spalding, but man, did he get stung by Torrey McTire.
Wow, this is a cover two from UNLV. He's just sitting down there, McTire is, and this is just a big-time hit. That's a phone booth tackle, Dan. Devin Spalding doesn't see it coming. Torrey McTire comes up, near leg, near shoulder, hat on a hat, and now a huge third down. I'd expect something here along the lines of a screen or a draw from Central Michigan. Can't allow a mistake. You want to just try and get this football out of here and allow yourself a chance to punt on fourth down.
CMU is not the team that played as good as they did last week at Oklahoma State. Rush has got some pressure. He'll run and throw on the run. It is caught, taken out of bounds, finally short of a first down, but finally something for CMU to cheer about. They go to the tight end, Jesse Kroll. That's the guy they want to connect with. He really stretches the field for them offensively.
Kroll's the senior of this wide receiving group, and he's got the most experience out of anybody. He's trying to get to the sticks. He's working here in his zone coverage, and he sits down just about 5 yards too short. Doesn't get the first down, but does allow Central Michigan here a better opportunity to punt and try and pin the Rebels deep.
So the Chippewas will try to get a clean punt away. Sheldon will punt instead of Moshenko, and a fair catch taken by Mekhi Stevenson for UNLV at about the 15. A timeout here at Central Michigan. CMU trying to get comfortable. UNLV working hard with a 7-0 road lead in Mount Pleasant.
Many sleep aids have pain medicine, but ZzzQuil is different. Because why would you take a pain medicine when all you want is good sleep? ZzzQuil, a non-habit-forming sleep aid that's not for pain, just for sleep.
Your flight has been delayed another 2 hours.
Mom, this is the worst vacation ever.
Ninja Turtles for you, Girl Meets World for you, golf tournament for you, and Real Housewives for you.
But this is live.
That's right. I just downloaded the free DirecTV app.
Would have been nice to have this an hour ago.
What are you streaming, hon?
How to Get Away with Murder?
The free DirecTV app. Just download and watch. It's your TV. Take it with you.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
Hey, man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday ticket included at no extra charge. Only on DirecTV.
My name's Emma. I'm 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. And I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
Any road with intuitive all-wheel drive. The Nissan Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder.
Johnny Stanton brings UNLV's offense back on the field. Dustin, what do we know about his background?
Well, here's what we know. We know he was a 3-star recruit out of high school. He's a guy who had offers from Oregon, Washington, and Nebraska. That's where he went to school. Of course, couldn't necessarily crack the lineup there behind Tommy Armstrong, but Barney Cotton, who's the offensive coordinator, who was at Nebraska, decided he was going to get him here when he transferred to Saddleback to the junior college.
They run on first down. They try to go wide, and it doesn't work out so well.
Thomas, the ball carrier.
Thomas on the carry for UNLV.
Osman and Jabari Dean in on the stop.
And a tag team tackle for Central Michigan with Jabari Dean helping out.
For UNLV.
One injury note on that defensive end on that far side for CMU. Mitch Stanizek injured against Oklahoma State. So that moves a fresh body, Chris Contavelos, up. Throwing on second down, incomplete. Oh, he had a man open. That was Boyd. And that's a should-have-been catch for UNLV. Instead, it brings up 3rd and long.
His Boyd is the inside receiver here in the trip set, working on a linebacker in zone coverage. This is just a drop, flat-out drop. I think Boyd hears the footsteps of Tony Anise, number 18, the safety, who comes down in that zone coverage, and Boyd's got to come up with that. I mean, he's the leader of this wide receiving group, and he's their star. Star's got to make plays.
So 3rd down and 10, the Rebels at the 15, and CMU's fans are hoping for a big defensive play. They haven't had much to cheer about yet. Stanton on the keeper, and that goes nowhere. Central Michigan shutting it down, and they'll get the football back.
Good job by Standizek here on the outside from his defensive end spot. They're going to run a little option play, and he stays home. And there's nowhere for Johnny Stanton to pitch the football to. Smart play by him to just hold on to this. Don't want to have any disastrous turnovers here, especially down in your own territory. Tucks it upfield, minimal gain, but you allow your special teams here to punt this thing away.
CMU looking to get good field position with Pantels on to punt.
Pantels on in punt formation. Emmett Thomas deep to receive for the Chippewa.
Emmett Thomas is deep to receive for CMU. He's going to let it go. It takes a Rebel bounce and then some all the way down to the 25. So much for that good field position I was pumping up. Central Michigan trying to rally, down 7 at home against UNLV. Our first quarter continues in a moment.
Is that iced tea?
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea?
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
No iced tea. It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Man, Arby's chicken sandwiches have really let themselves go. They barely fit on the bun anymore. Someone should say something. Arby's, we have the meats.
There are a few who move toward the sounds of tyranny, injustice, and despair. They are the few, the proud, the Marines.
A car should only be measured by one thing. How it makes you feel. The all-new Infiniti Q60. Infiniti, empower the drive.
Central Michigan's got a very pumped up crowd today, enjoying the weather. A lot of feel-good atmosphere after the way last Saturday's game ended, but they want to start seeing some good football here. And so does John Bonamigo, starting at first down. Rush rolling out, throwing, and caught by Chapman. First down and then some for Central. He stays up and gets almost to midfield. Chapman has been the playmaker so far for the CMU team. Boy, they want to get him the ball every down, don't they?
And Mark Chapman is a guy who doesn't get the football a lot, but he did last week. Guy started 12 games last season. With some of the departures from the wide receiving group, he's stepping up. He runs inside and does a little pivot route, comes outside, he gets the defense out leverage and picks up the first down.
Central into Rebel territory. Jare Hayes carrying only a yard.
Jare Hayes,
UNLV ready to step up and
up at the
shut
line
that run down inside.
Jason Fowl.
Dan, we'll see a lot of different running backs here from the Chippewas. They've got a three-headed monster in the backfield. Jare Hayes is another one you'll see, but we've already seen Devin Spalding. The kid who I'm really excited to see today, Dan, is Jonathan Ward, the freshman, who's really kind of made an impact. And Morris Watt said he wants to get more touches in his hands as well.
Second down and 10 as the Chippewas trying to rally after a special teams mistake. Gives UNLV a lead. Rush throwing a deep ball near side. Chapman couldn't get it down, a little bit underthrown. Good coverage in the secondary for UNLV by Darius Mountain. Right in his face to stop that pass from coming into a completion.
This is terrific coverage by Mountain on the outside. He's got great position. He gets his head flipped around and is able to knock that ball out. And I'll be honest with you, Dan, I think that Chapman becomes the defensive back there, because if he doesn't get that offhand in there and knock that football away, that could have been an interception.
Central Michigan looking at third down and 10. They still have not really gotten a lot of rhythm so far offensively. Rush has got time in the middle, caught. First down and a couple more for Central Michigan as they hook with Corey Willis.
Rush's pass is caught by Corey
Good
Willis.
grab for him, and Central Michigan moves it deeper into Rebel territory.
Give a lot of credit to the offensive line here for keeping Cooper Rush, keeping his pocket clean. He allows him a lot of time to sit back there and kind of diagnose the defense. And Corey Willis sits down in the zone, right at the sticks, first down.
Yeah, that was a luxury he did not have last week at Oklahoma State. Ball at the 36-yard line. Central Michigan on the move, and they'll run on first down, and a push ahead by Jure Hayes. Gets down to about the 30.
Hayes, your ball carrier.
This is a good drive here by Central Michigan. They're doing a pretty good job of keeping balance with their offense, running the football, and also taking some shots down the field as well. As a defensive coordinator, it's tough. You never really get into a rhythm, and you don't know what's exactly coming at you.
Under 5 minutes left in our first quarter of football. Central Michigan trying to rally after a block punt leads to a UNLV touchdown. Catch made in the middle. Central Michigan scoring on the catch. Tremendous effort by CMU. The hook with Jesse Kroll goes 30 yards, and Central Michigan right back in this game.
Jesse Kroll in the slot, working against the safety. It's an easy, quick slant. The tackle right there by Hawthorne must be made. He misses it, and then Jesse Kroll has an easy path to the end zone. Jesse Kroll is a guy who's been here 6 seasons for the Chippewas. I mean, he really embodies everything that this team is about. Good for him to get in the end zone, but that was a great throw by Cooper Rush. He diagnoses the fact that he's matched up. He's got a mismatch against a safety, and Jesse Kroll takes it to the house.
Cooper Mashenko hits the PAT, and Central Michigan ties this game at 7. An effective drive started with a Mark Chapman catch for a bunch of yards and finishes on the Jesse Kroll 30-yard touchdown score.
It's all about throwing lanes, too, from a quarterback standpoint, and Cooper Rush is able just to kind of fit that. He doesn't throw it high, he throws it kind of down a little bit, right as Kroll cuts inside here. Look at this. Right down, only where his guy can get it. A little low, but it's fine. Of course, Kroll catches it and knows what to do with it.
And I got to figure catching a ball at your knees is not the best place to catch it.
It's not, but I think he understood that, listen, if he drops that pass, there's less of a chance that it's going to get tipped and intercepted, and he knows when he cuts inside on that defensive back, there's only one guy that can catch it, and that's Jesse Kroll.
And Cooper Rush now has just passed the 10,000-yard mark in terms of career passing here at Central Michigan. As if we needed to boost his ego anymore, he's going to own a lot of great passing records here at CMU.
Yeah, just keep the tally, Dan. I mean, by the end of this, he'll have every record Central Michigan had. Dan Lefevre and all the great quarterbacks who've come before him, they'll be looking up to Cooper Rush.
Charles Williams does not return that kick by Moshenko. And it's UNLV bringing their offense back on the field. Now it's a 7-7 game. Central Michigan can breathe a little bit easier.
Well, here's the thing, if you're UNLV, you've got to get something going here on offense. You've got to be able to move the chains. The only reason they have a touchdown this game is because of special teams and your defense. Coach Sanchez talked to me before the game about trying to get some balance on offense and of course, trying to get this lead. Well, they had it. Now they blew it defensively. The offense needs to figure out something here. You got to move the chains. You got to make sure you keep your defense off the field, and you let them get a little bit of a break here.
They will play fake on first down, throwing incomplete. Standing on the attempt at Darren Woods. A lot of concerns coming into this game, Dustin. Would UNLV be able to run the football?
Well, something had to give, right? Because UNLV runs the football for nearly 225 yards per game. And the Chippewas defense, they only give up 47 yards a game on the ground. So eventually something will give. And this is not a fluke. I mean, the Chippewas defense going back to last season were tops in the conference against the run.
Second down and 10. UNLV will run near side, and not a whole lot of room. They could not get outside. Williams on the ball carry for the Rebels. Now it brings up third down.
Third down.
Keep an eye on Stanton's athletic ability here, because this is a third down. I think it's vital for the Rebels to pick up. If he doesn't see something open down the field, I imagine they're going to throw here on third down. If they don't, he's got some terrific athletic ability that he could take off and run with it.
3rd and 7 is what Stanton is looking at for the Rebels. Pressure is coming, and down he goes. Central Michigan with 2 defenders coming in hot. Mike Dana and Joe Ostman. Little 1-2 combo for a big sack for Central Michigan.
And talking with Greg Colby this week, he really felt strong about his defensive front. And Mike Dana just cuts right inside of Saxelid on the left tackle spot, and it's an easy sack.
And Central Michigan poised to maybe get good field position too. The Rebels will,
excuse me, that was Caldwell at left tackle.
Pantel's out to punt. And fair catch, ball mishandled. Central Michigan covers it. That one didn't go as well as planned. Mark Chapman tried to catch that ball on kind of a line drive. Central recovers though. And now, boy, how this game has changed. Central Michigan taking a lot of momentum away from UNLV.
Well, it's dangerous right here for the Chippewas. You come up with a fair catch. It's a little bit dangerous. You never want to be going to the ground trying to catch a punt. If you feel like you can't field it cleanly, just get away from it. And Chapman doesn't do that there. He's lucky that Anthony Rice was Johnny on the spot there to recover it. The field is tilted though now, Dan, because the Chippewas are now, of course, in Rebel territory to start this drive. And after the last offensive possession, you have to feel good if you're a Chips fan that Cooper Rush and company are getting the offense going.
From the 48-yard line for Cooper Rush, 1st and 10. Central going to the air, safe pass complete. Out here in the flat, the Chips keep moving. Joe Bocci all the way down to about the 30-yard line.
Well, this is, Dan, what sets up the play action. The fact that you've been running the football a ton is what does this. In the play action pass, he's got 2 options here. He could go down the field or hit Bocci in the flat, which he does. Got a hold on to that football. Lucky he was out of bounds. But it's a 2-way go, and he hits the fullback. Easy first down.
They get 16 yards to the Rebel 32-yard line. Central Michigan pulling things together offensively now after that big Bocci catch. Now the toss, and they run Jare Hayes, try to get him wide. Nope, maybe a couple of yards to the 30.
Hayes, your ball carrier.
Second down and 7 for CMU. Remember, the Chippewas had to overcome an early 14-0 deficit last week at Oklahoma State. Today, the block punt that was recovered in the end zone by UNLV got this game started on the wrong foot, but they're trying to pull it together now. Rush on 2nd and 7. Ball incomplete. Some contact. No flag. How close was that?
Well, it's close contact here, but remember, this is a running back. Devin Spalding was in the backfield. They motioned him to an empty set. And what it does from an offensive standpoint is it allows you to know what the defense is in. If the defensive back follows you out there, you know they're in man coverage, which they were. Defensive back has a hand a little bit inside. I think he just slips, though, and of course that makes it look like the contact was a little bit more. I think it could have went either way. Probably a good no call.
3rd and 7. Rush under pressure, caught, and a flag thrown. It's Chapman on the grab. Now he's tackled at about the 15. Mark Chapman, man, they have targeted him all day offensively, but let's find out what the flag is for.
Holding. Defense, number 21. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Ball inside the 15. A 17-yard gain. Mark Chapman continuing to shine here early against UNLV.
And I like the way that Cooper Rush stands in the pocket. He does get hit, and that's why that football sailed on him a little bit. He's lucky that it wasn't intercepted. But he's lucky to have his man there, Mark Chapman, to come up with that reception.
Rush, end zone, touchdown, CMU to Chapman. When you're hot, you're hot. Get him the ball, good things are going to happen for CMU.
This is just too easy for Cooper Rush. He's going to sit back here with all day to throw. A little play action pass there. Chapman just gets right behind the defense. I mean, this is just an easy pitch and catch. A little skinny post. Almost uncontested.
Well, if you were awarding game balls in the first quarter, it's Mark Chapman and nobody else.
Well, how about Cooper Rush?
Well,
come on, someone's got to get him the football, Dan.
That's true. Extra point puts Central Michigan up by 7. And things have changed a lot for CMU. Boy, how great a football does Cooper Rush throw?
Well, the thing about him, Dan, and this you learn from talking to some of the coaches, is that he doesn't have like a gunslinger type of arm, but he has a lot of touch and he knows how to complete passes. And I think that's one of the best compliments you can receive as a quarterback, that you know where the football has to go and you try to throw a football that is going to be completed. And that's why he's had so much success here. And the thing about him too is he doesn't have one go-to guy. He spreads the football out. As we take a look at the record book here of Cooper Rush, look at the passing yards, second all time, 10,192 yards, total offense nearing 10,000 yards. He's number 2 all time, 74 touchdown passes. Folks at the Chippewas should be very happy that he decided to be a Chip.
Central Michigan, well, this is an auspicious start for them, but they have come on like gangbusters late here in this first quarter.
I remember calling a Chippewas game. It was his first game. He comes in as a freshman against New Hampshire. And I was talking to my play-by-play man at the time, and I said, this kid's special. And here we are 4 years later, and we're talking about him being a potential NFL draft pick, a high NFL draft pick. There's no wonder. Kid is special. He cares. He's a great leader, too.
Taken from the 1-yard line, and Central Michigan will let that ball come out to about the 18, and a flag on the play. Williams on the return. Cooper Rush made his first start for Central Michigan against UNLV, which is the last time these two teams played.
During the return, illegal block in the back, return team number 15. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Unfortunately for the Rebels and Tony Sanchez, his team is winning the flag war. And that's not working out so well for him.
You don't want to win that war, Dan.
No, never.
It's a war you want
to lose. So now a big uphill challenge here. And just like last week when UNLV was in a hostile environment, Johnny Stanton trying to get his team back a little bit more poised and confident here. They start from the 6-yard line. Look at this explosion run. Williams carrying. Well, he's gotten a lot of touches today, and he's done so many good things for them. But another flag inside the 10.
Holding, offense, number 58. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, that's on Will Kreitler, their center, who's their captain, and probably their best offensive lineman. That's very uncharacteristic of him.
Here's a look. Let's watch him at the top there. Yeah, that's
going to grab that.
There it is.
Going to grab that jersey of Malik Fountain. It's an easy call.
Ball is at the 4-yard line. First down and 13. They're going to run, and not much running room there. Maybe to the 5-yard line for Charles Williams again. They're working him hard, but overcoming penalties. Not an easy thing to do, especially on the road.
Second 12 coming up for the Rebels.
Second down and 12 from their own 5-yard line. Stanton on the handoff, and they run to Williams, who gets outside the 10.
Williams, the ball carrier. Dana once again on the side.
Well, this is the money down for the Rebels. Third down.
Coming up for the Rebels.
At some point, they're going to need to complete one of these, convert one of them rather, to keep these drives alive. If they don't, they're going to be stuck in their own territory the entire afternoon, and the Chippewas will just say, hey, we'll take this great field position. Defense is playing great. Stanton's going to have to make a play.
And our game clock is going to go to 0-0. And our first quarter is in the books here in Mount Pleasant. UNLV, the special teams opportunity, a recovered punt in the CMU end zone. But since then, it's been all CMU here in Mount Pleasant. Second quarter football between the Rebels and the Chippewas when we come back.
The game is bigger than quick hands, breakaways, or finger rolls. It's bigger than layouts, sellouts, and shooting the lights out. It's bigger than cannons, bells, and wagon wheels in any stadium, field, or score. Because when you play the game for the integrity of the sport, with character, honor, and heart, the game is bigger than just a game. It's a foundation for life.
Let's feed him to the sharks. Let's feed him to the sharks. And take all of his gold. And take all of his gold. And hide it from the crew. They're all morons anyway. Never said that. They all smell bad too. No, you all smell wonderful. I smell bad.
If you're a parrot, you repeat things. That's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
It's what you do.
There are a few who move toward the sounds of tyranny, injustice, and despair. They are the few, the proud, the Marines.
Perhaps if chickens bothered to fly, they'd have more meat on those wings. Until then, Arby's will dip this in buffalo sauce. Arby's, we have the meat.
Take on any road with intuitive all-wheel drive. The Nissan Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder.
And you're back. Go. 14-7 as we roll into our second quarter of football here. And our assessment of the first quarter, Dustin, I don't think that Tony Sanchez is too happy about what his team has done.
Outside of that first block punt for a touchdown, it's been pure domination from the Chippewas. And you got to give the Chippewas a lot of credit because their defense has played so great. They've got off the field 3 out of 4 times on third down. It's a big one coming up here for the Rebels.
From their 10, Stanton on the rollout. He's got time, and a deep ball incomplete. Intercepted. Central Michigan's going to run it back the other way. What a pick by CMU. Heads up football play there. And they are doing great things. Bunting on the pick for CMU. It was deflected. And, man, everything has gone off the rails for UNLV.
Well, Sean Bunting, for freshmen, is having a terrific season. A couple tackles last week, a couple PBUs in week 1, and now an interception. And, look, I don't know if I love the throw from Johnny Stanton, but the football was in the hands of his receiver. If it touches the hands of your receiver, you expect him to come up with that catch. He's not able to do it. It's a tip pass, and Bunting comes up with the pick.
And CMU is going to get the football in great field position at their own 24. Handoff on first down. They go right to it. On the ground with Central Michigan attacking that middle with Spalding.
Here's the interception.
Here's the pick.
Wiley on the stop for the Rebels.
Little bit behind.
It's Mekhi Stevenson, who's a freshman. 6 foot, 180 pounds. It hits his hands. I mean, he's got to come up with that if it hits his hands. But a really strong interception from Bunting, who has terrific concentration. Now, that's one of the toughest interceptions you'll see. Off a receiver's hands, you catch it with one hand, you secure it, and then he gets upfield.
2nd down and 8 for Cooper Rush. Far side incomplete.
Cooper's pass is incomplete.
Wanted Jere Hayes.
He's covered on the play by 55.
Our first quarter stats not very kind to UNLV. Just 34 yards of offense. They got some work to do and hope right now that their defense can just try and end this drive. A field goal, maybe just get them off the field. 3rd down and 8 for Cooper Rush. They're bringing some pressure. Rush hanging in, throwing incomplete. Ball underthrown for Chapman. And that's going to help UNLV and bring on the CMU's field goal unit.
Well, UNLV defense gets lucky here. Cooper Rush just throws this football right behind his wide receiver on the outside, Corey Willis. He has good position, but the football's behind him. And in fact, he's lucky that that thing wasn't intercepted by Tim Huff.
40-yard field goal attempt. Well within range for Cooper Moshashenko. Of course, his dad was a prolific kicker at Michigan State. This one is no good.
That's a break.
So UNLV's got something to get fired up about.
Well, and they're going to get a good spot here, too, because they'll mark it where it was kicked. And this is going to be a defensive stop, essentially, for the Rebels defense.
And the turnover does not end up hurting UNLV. Tony Sanchez, he'll take whatever he can get. We mentioned total yardage. Wow.
151 to 34. They're lucky this is only a 7-point game, Dan. The thing that concerns me is that 1 for 4 on 3rd down, that's got to be improved upon by the Rebels on offense. If they want to continue to get some drives going and get some points, they've got to be better on 3rd down.
Stand on first down. They're going to run, and a big takedown in the backfield. Lexington Thomas on the carry, but CMU said, no thanks. Cantavalos right in there to shut it down.
Yeah, Lexington Thomas is not a big running back. He's a little dude who's got a lot of quickness and speed, but Cantavalos does a good job. He cuts inside and he gets upfield. He's able to wrap up Lexington Thomas by his legs, and that's why he secured the tackle.
That's amazing. A 7-yard loss, and the ball is all the way back to the 15-yard line. They're going to run again. Now they've got an explosion run into space. And here comes a big push there. Charles Williams, he will get all of it. Touchdown, UNLV.
Touchdown, UNLV.
5'9", 175 pounds, but that freshman has got some big legs.
Here's a look.
When I talked to Coach Sanchez this week, Dan, the thing he mentioned about the young running back Charles Williams, he's 5'9", 175, but he's a guy who was in the state 100-meter track championships in the state of California. He has some wheels, and right there, he was off to the races. It was like he was in a track race, a 100-meter, a 200-meter, off to the races, and just absolutely burst to the end zone.
We didn't see that your kind of speed at Ohio State like that, but, well, Lexington Thomas, man, I'll tell you what, UNLV right back in it now. Amazing how this one play giving UNLV a big, big push. And John Bonamigo coming back to reality after the touchdown run. A wild one. UNLV right back in the thick. Thomas to the house for the Rebels.
Hey, Jesse.
Who are you?
I'm Vern, the Orange Money Retirement Rabbit from Voya.
Vern from Voya.
Yep, Vern from Voya.
Why are you orange? That's a little weird.
Really? That's the weird part in the scenario? Look, Orange Money represents the money you put away for retirement. Save a little here and there, and over time, your money could multiply. See?
Oh, okay.
So, why are you orange?
Funny.
See how Voya can help you get organized at Voya.com.
My name's Emma. I am 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. And I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
Your flight has been delayed another 2 hours.
Mom, this is the worst vacation ever.
Ninja Turtles for you, Girl Meets World for you, golf tournament for you, and Real Housewives for you.
But this is live.
That's right, I just downloaded the free DirecTV app. Would have been nice to have this an hour ago.
What are you streaming, hon?
How to Get Away with Murder?
The free DirecTV app. Just download and watch. It's your TV. Take it with you.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday ticket included at no extra charge. Only on DirecTV.
UNLV takes the long run to the house, and they're back in it now, tied at 14. We'll see that play after the kickoff by UNLV. So they've had some momentary flashes of greatness. Block punt.
Big plays, Dan.
Setting up their first score. That was their first score. And then this long touchdown run by Lexington as the ball blows off the tee here. You know, sometimes the challenges for a younger, inexperienced team are believing that you can win on the road, believing you can play well in a hostile environment. For Tony Sanchez's team, that might be where they're at right now.
Think about this stat, Dan. Since they've been playing football back in the 60s at UNLV, they've only traveled to the Eastern time zone 9 times. Never won. It's tough. It's tough to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast. Hostile environment, especially with a good football team like Central Michigan off a big emotional win last week. This is going to be a tough road to hoe here for the Rebels, but big answer there. You felt like this thing could have gotten away from the Rebels, but that drive, that scoring play there by Lexington Thomas was terrific. Here's how it's set up, Dan. Watch the center here, Will Kreitler in the middle. He does a good job getting to the second level, has a great block right there on Ricketts, Nathan Ricketts, and then Thomas is just out the gate. Just out the gate.
Central Michigan trying to rally back. They've played good football, but haven't had much separation on the scoreboard. 1st and 10 from the 25. Rush They're going to roll out near side. He'll throw on the run, incomplete. Chapman got knocked down.
Cooper's pass
Lost his footing. Maybe that was the intended wideout, but it brings up second down and 10 for CMU. And maybe for UNLV, they want to take a page out of Central Michigan's playbook. When you're on the road, like CMU was last week, you're not going to win the game over 4 quarters necessarily. You got to kind of pick your spots a little bit, hang around, and then see what happens. And right now, UNLV's figuring out how to hang around. Here's the run for CMU on second down. UNLV able to knock that off. Jonathan Ward is the ball carrier there.
There's that freshman running back, Ward, I was talking about earlier, Dan. We'll see him more as we go. He's a speedster in the backfield, kind of a change of pace back for the Chippewas. You know, I'm sorry, Dan. Something to keep an eye on here, too, as we're counting down the minutes here in the second quarter. In the third quarter, UNLV gets reinforcements. As Kenny Keys, who was ejected last week for targeting one of their top safeties, he will be eligible to come back into this game, and he's a good player. In fact, that turned the game upside down in UCLA last week. They'll get him back in the second half.
Good note, good sign for UNLV. Rush under duress. It is caught short of a first down, though. Boy, Conklin on the grab, but they had big-time pressure on Cooper Rush. He still got it off, and they got it complete, but shy of the first down.
Fourth down coming up for Central Michigan.
It's going to come right up the middle. McAleen.
Jack Sheldon on in punt formation for Central Michigan.
Good pressure on Cooper Rush. Somehow he's able to complete that pass to Conklin, who had a big kind of coming out party last week.
CMU will punt. Moshe will boot, and it will be stopped at the 38-yard line. And now UNLV trying to
down by Hayes.
Build on that long touchdown run.
11, Trevor Apsey. The Rebels will take over first and 10.
Pretty good field position, too. At about the 38-yard line. Sometimes the emotions are what get the best of you when you're on the road. For UNLV, again, they come a long way. Now they're settling down, and
that quarterback right there, Johnny Stanton, he needs to get settled in, Dan, to your point. He needs to be more comfortable.
Stanton completes in the middle, and they hook up on first down. The Rebels, Mecky Stevenson on the catch.
Stanton's pass is hauled in by number 2, Mecky Stevenson.
Well, a throw like that, Dan, is kind of to my point.
For the Rebels.
I think that they need to allow some just easy rhythm throws here for Stanton to build some confidence up, because outside of that big run by Thomas on that last drive, they've had relatively no offense, but they're going to need the passing game as we go.
Ball in midfield. After the first down, they swing it outside, and they push ahead for another first down.
8, that's Charles Williams.
Stanton stretching the field out. Williams putting his head down and getting another first down for UNLV. So Mecky Stevenson and now Charles Williams, and UNLV going a little faster, starting to make it very hard for CMU to operate defensively. They're at the 35. And they run, and Williams able to get down to about the 31.
Charles Williams, the ball carrier.
I'll tell you what, Dan, if you're Central Michigan,
tripped up by number 7, Amari.
You've got to be a little worried here. Greg Colby, the defensive coordinator, has to understand, and I'm sure he's worried about this in the booth, as he looks down and says, oh boy, they got some speed. You know, they run some of these tempo here, these read options. If these guys get a seam, Lexington Thomas, Charles Williams, they're going to go the distance. I mean, they don't have anybody as fast as those guys.
Second down and 6. They run right up the middle, big run. And UNLV with Lexington Thomas on the carry, starting to really open it up. And they get another first down at the 20.
Tackled on the play.
Amazing. These guys, these running backs. Lexington Thomas, 5'9", 170. Charles Williams, 5'9", 175. I mean, these guys are not very big dudes, but they've got speed. And the thing is, you give them a hole, I mean, they're going to go right through it, and they're going to take it to the house.
UNLV on the move. The long touchdown run has given them new life, and they're knocking on the door here against Central Michigan. Timeout taken by UNLV.
First charge timeout, UNLV. And 30-second timeout.
Well, Coach Sanchez wants to talk it over, wants to make sure, hey, we're almost to the red zone here. We want to make sure we have the right call. Every single play is going to be vital, and you want to come away with points, obviously. You have a chance to regain that lead you had from earlier in the game. Well, this game has shifted in a hurry.
Like lightning, this game has turned around. That long touchdown run.
The zone blocking scheme is perfect for these young running backs because what it does, Dan, is it allows them to pick a seam and go. And especially from the offensive line standpoint, they know that they're gonna block down on their guy, and they know they have a running back behind them who's gonna just take that seam and hit it.
Williams on the carry, running far side, gets the edge, and did he get clobbered?
Tony Anise.
Williams, the ball carrier.
And I'll tell you what, Central Michigan.
Hit hard by Tony Anise.
He's got football in his DNA, and he just put a big hit on Williams there.
Yeah, Tony Anise, I think, outweighs Charles Williams by about 50 pounds. I was down on the field before the game. I said to Coach Bonamigo, I said, man, that Tony Anise, it's a big boy. Big safety, 4-year starter here for Greg Colby and their defense, captain of this football team.
They still got 7. Stanton's going to run.
Stanton
Gets inside with 10.
Malik Fountain in on the stop for Central Michigan.
On the stop for Central Michigan, but Central Michigan, well, they're getting pushed back by this UNLV offense.
Here's a stat to keep an eye on, Dan. Coming into this game, after last week, they were 3 for 3 in the red zone. The Rebels were. They're confident. You know, that UCLA defense has some dudes on it now. They're going up against the defense in the Chippewas. They're good too, but they're not UCLA. Last week, they did a really good job in the red zone.
First and goal from the 8 for the Rebels. A quarterback keep, and Central Michigan able to stop Stanton at about the 6. So CMU trying to hold back this UNLV offense that has just found some rhythm and tempo here.
How about this, though? 6'3", 245 pounds Johnny Stanton is. It takes 3 guys to bring him down. That's how physical he is and why Coach loves him.
Jabari Dean hit him with everything he had and still couldn't get him down by himself. Second and goal from the 6. Play fake, end zone, incomplete.
Oh boy,
no contact.
Lucky. There was a lot of contact, but no flag.
There's a nice low end zone one. Andrew Price, the tight end, was the intended wideout. Let's see if he got touched.
Here, watch Tony Anise, the safety, come in. Does he grab him? Oh yeah, that's a call. That's he gets away with that call. He hooks him.
So big play here for UNLV. They had the blocked punt that they recovered in the CMU end zone to start the scoring in this game. Can they get a go-ahead score here? Stanton on the option. The toss to the end zone. And a flag.
Thomas, the ball.
So which way that's a penalty on CMU, Lexington Thomas.
I'm not so sure, Dan. It might be a hold on UNLV. We'll get the call, but there was a couple things that could have been called.
It's going to be a hold.
I think it's going to come back, Dan.
Holding, offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 3rd down.
Watch the lead blocker on this play as he gets on the edge to allow Williams to get near the goal.
Yeah, Kyle Saxelid.
Yep, right there. He grabs the jersey.
Yeah. That's a fistful of CMU jersey there, and he doesn't really gives UNLV another play. They'll take another shot at the end zone. 3rd and goal from the 13.
Listen, I don't know if I'm Coach Sanchez here. I want to take a shot. I might be a little more conservative, maybe quarterback draw here.
Stanton will throw, end zone, caught, touchdown. They get it to the corner. Wow, what a grab by Darren Woods for the UNLV score.
When in Vegas, you might as well gamble, right? Take a shot to the end zone.
So much for conservative.
Yeah.
He wanted that end zone. He got it. And UNLV's up 6 and maybe up 7.
And this is the best throw of the day for Johnny Stanton. It's a back shoulder throw to Darren Woods, who's a big-bodied kid, 6 foot, 215 pounds. He sits back here, throws it right to his back shoulder.
Wow.
Only where his guy can get it. I mean, that's just how you draw it up. I mean, that's like a clinic right there from Darren Woods and Johnny Stanton. And boy, you have to be stunned right now if you're here at in Mount Pleasant at Kelly Short Stadium watching this game, because you felt like this thing was going to get away from the Rebels. And now, 14 unanswered points.
And this game continues to go back and forth. The touchdown throw from 13 yards out. UNLV back up 7 on the road at Central.
There are a few who move toward the sounds of tyranny, injustice, and despair. They are the few, the proud, the Marines.
Take on any road with intuitive all-wheel drive. The Nissan Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder.
Hey, come close to the computer. Give me those eyes.
Is everything okay? My husband, Mike Williams, is on the Deepwater Horizon.
You gotta get to the lifeboats right now. I'm going back. I'm coming with you.
Mayday, this is Deepwater Horizon. I don't want to die.
Don't look down, look at me.
Deepwater Horizon, rated PG-13, in theaters and IMAX September 30th.
What's it like to be in good hands? Man, it's like pure power at your fingertips. Like the power to earn All-State reward points every time I drive. Want my number? And cash back for driving safe. And the power to automatically find your car. I see you, car. And I got the power to know who's coming and when if I break down. You must be Jerry. Hey, N means getting more from your car insurance with the all-powerful DriveWise app.
It's good to be in good hands.
UNLV responding nicely after Central Michigan had back-to-back scores. Now the Rebels follow suit. And we got a ball game that you're not going to want to go too far away from. A lot of football left here in Mount Pleasant, but Central Michigan trying for a 3-0 start. UNLV trying to rise above last week's loss to UCLA. Pantels will kick. Mark Chapman deep to return for CMU. Another boot in the end zone, and Chapman will bring it out. And he'll get out to about the 18-yard line. Well, for a long time, UNLV football has been looking for a new culture, and they went in a different direction, Dustin. This has been a Tony Sanchez kind of a 180 from what they did in the past.
Yeah, take a look at the back of the helmets. The Welcome to Las Vegas sign that you see as you approach the Strip in Las Vegas. They're embracing that culture. The thing about Sanchez is that he is a coach from Las Vegas, lifer pretty much, and they want to embrace that. He said, in fact, when recruits come to town, the first place they take the parents is to the Strip. Got to embrace that culture.
Yeah, that's not the way they used to run it out west in Nevada. As the run on first down, it does not get much for Devon Spalding.
Devon Spalding, the ball carrier.
And just to that point, UNLV is a program that should thrive. There's 2.5 million people in Vegas. It's a very transient city. There's a lot of good football. There's a lot of good football in Vegas specifically. Heck, when he was coaching at Bishop Gorman, he's putting out 5 to 10 kids every year, Division I.
And there were eyebrows raised nationally when they announced the hire of Sanchez a couple years ago, but locally in Las Vegas, where it matters, everybody was like, hey, this is great. And he's got him in the right direction. Long completion by Cooper Rush. They get a first down. CMU, the hookup with Tyler Conklin.
Conklin, this is a guy who's a former basketball player who's just come on the scene and become a star of this offense, especially last week in Stillwater against the Cowboys. Little 7 route here. He's big, 6'4", 240, and is a former basketball player. You feel like he can go up there and make some plays. Then he was a walk-on here. He was at Saginaw Valley as a hoopster and decided to come to Central Michigan and play football. And last week had a career day. He's off to a good start here again.
And the run on first down, Central Michigan. John Ray Hayes on the ball carry, but not a lot there for him. Maybe a yard before UNLV just swarms him under.
Last completion.
And Cooper Rush, look at that, 800 career completions for the CMU Chippewas. What an exemplary player he has been for Dan Enos and now John Bonamigo. 2nd and 6, Chippewas trying to get back in this game from their own 37. And they hand off. Hayes on the carry and a flag late at the tackle. Would be a face mask. A lot of penalties against UNLV so far in this game.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 19. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, I think he was trying to tear his helmet off.
Football 101.
Yep.
That's a no-no.
And that's the 4th penalty for 39 yards in this game, early part of this game for the Rebels.
CMU now into Rebel territory at the 44. Rush. Going to throw a deep ball near side. Open man and caught. Oh, incomplete. Maybe the flag, though, interference. We'll see how this plays out. Conklin was the target. Sorry, Jesse Kroll. And he's limping a little bit. He had him, but the ball was a little bit underthrown.
It's a good play by the defensive back because he was beat.
Pass interference.
Jericho Flowers.
Defense number 33. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And instead of giving up a touchdown, he decides, hey, I'll give him 15 yards and a pass interference penalty. McCroll almost comes up with the catch, but listen, in college, it's not a spot foul. So if you're beat, I'm okay with that penalty. I mean, he's beat by a mile. Ball a little bit underthrown, to be honest with you. Kroll probably could have ran underneath that if Cooper Rush puts a little bit more under.
Is there ever a good time for a defensive back to turn his head when the ball's in the air?
Excuse me, that was Dalton Baker on the coverage. Is there a good time? Yeah. Not when you're beat. Not when you're running down a receiver from behind.
From the 29, Rush is going to the same spot, wide open. Chapman, touchdown, CMU. 29 yards out, and we're a PAT from a tie football game.
Can you say shootout, Dan?
It's time.
I think that's what we're in for, partner. Cooper Rush, this is one of his easiest touchdown throws. It's a busted coverage. Chapman's wide open. You see 2 guys on another receiver there in the middle. That's an easy one.
You can't give Cooper Rush that kind of an advantage. Point after by Moshenko is good. He had a field goal miss for CMU earlier, but this PAT ties it up at 21. And here's another look at this touchdown.
It's not even a play action pass. He was hit a little bit there as he delivers the football. But there's just nobody there. It's just an absolute bust by the Rebels defense. You can't allow this to happen. You know, last week they had problems tackling. This week, maybe it's communication.
Chapman now 4 catches, 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. And as a wide receiver, that's one of those things where you're so wide open, that ball just hangs in the air, doesn't it?
Those are the tough ones to haul in. You know, you're running underneath of it, and you see it come in.
And you're thinking.
And you start to think. And as a receiver or a defensive back even, you're just used to reacting. But he's off to a terrific start. Mark Chapman, 4 catches, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far.
And Cooper Rush now with 75 career touchdowns passing for CMU. When we told you these quarterbacks would be fun to watch, especially, well, you know that Cooper Rush can make miracles happen. Maybe last Saturday wasn't a miracle, but it was pretty darn close.
Since we were talking about the Vegas football team, the over-under for this game was 55. I think we might hit that in the first half.
Yeah, we're on our way. A squib kick. Ball picked up at the 15-yard line. And UNLV's got a little creativity. They'll run near side and finally forced out at about the 43. So that does not play well. What were we talking about last week? The finish that captivated college football. This is the last play of, well, the extra play that Central Michigan ran. The long pass completed. Now the lateral. And the push for the end zone. Got it.
Cole does a good job. I mean, he knows he can't go to the ground without lateraling that football to somebody and keeping it alive. And Willis is Johnny on the spot right there to catch the lateral and get it in the end zone.
And how about everybody for CMU getting to that end zone to celebrate? Pass complete far side. Did he stay in bounds? He did. So Stanton completing. Devontae Boyd. We haven't talked about him much. Kind of a surprise that UNLV has been so productive offensively without him getting the football.
Last week they did a good job, UCLA, of keeping him kind of under wraps. They didn't allow him behind their defense all that much, I should say, but he did have 5 catches for 84 yards. But he's their go-to guy.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass. Play is under further review.
Take a look at this and make sure he got his foot in bounds and he wasn't bobbling, because he was over there near the Chippewa sideline as he's coming down. You want to make sure he has the catch all the way through the process of the catch.
I was going to say that did look pretty close. Let's assess what UNLV has done to turn this game around as we take a look at where that foot lands. Ooh,
well,
boy.
Toes in bounds first, I think.
But again, okay. Yeah, it's not so much where his foot landed, but did he have possession? And in all honesty, it looks like maybe his heel might have been out of bounds. Let's see if we can see here.
But the toe comes in first, Dan.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, toes in bounds. Yeah, bobble a little bit there. But he still has control of it as he goes to the ground. They ruled it a catch on the field. As they go back and review this, I don't know how you overturn that, Dan. I mean, the process of the catch to the ground.
I don't know if he had possession. I'm going to guess.
Remember, the replay booth wants to look at that in real time because they want to see how he comes down with it.
If they want to see it at regular speed, we're going to show them at game speed.
So game speed is
it's important.
Our next look.
Yeah, because when you slow it down, you got to remember these are how the officials are looking at it on the field. And this is how they see it in the booth, right there, boom. I mean, that looks like a catch in real time, doesn't it?
Not to me.
Not to you. Well, nobody knows what a catch is anymore. Just ask Des Bryant.
So a great weather day here in mid-Michigan. Central Michigan celebrating that great finish to the Oklahoma State game last weekend. And again, John Bonamigo told us in the call this week that he did not want that game to linger. And as soon as they got back to it, you know, Coach Speak 101, hey, we're moving on. Win or lose, we can't end our season on the second weekend of September at Oklahoma State. We got bigger fish to fry. This is a team that thinks they're going to compete in the MAC West the rest of the way out.
After review, it was determined that it was an incomplete pass, that the receiver did not retain possession.
I love how you're
Ball
shaking your head.
Ball will be brought back to the 43-yard line.
Right.
It'll be second down.
Good job,
and 10.
Dan Gutowski.
Play clock operator, please set the play clock to 4:54, please. 4:54.
Bobble right there.
Yep.
That's what they're going to say. No possession right there. I don't know what a catch is anymore, Dan. On the playground, is that a catch?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially on the Fox playground. So Central Michigan back on defense Under 5 minutes left to go in our first half of football. It's been very entertaining. Inconsistent, but entertaining for sure. UNLV with the blocked punt that they recovered in the end zone to go up 7-0. Central answers with 2 scores, and then the Rebels come charging back. So we're going to have a great second half of football here in Mount Pleasant for sure. And eventually we'll get back to playing football as they figure all this out. So the Rebels from the 42-yard line trying to move into CMU territory.
2nd and 10 coming up from the Rebels from their own 43-yard line.
Stanton will throw, and they complete it near side.
Stanton's pass
They
is
swing it
caught
out
by
to
3.
Williams.
Lexington
Nope,
Thomas.
not Williams.
He is tackled by 45.
But Lexington Thomas, they've been pretty efficient going to throw to those backs out of the backfield today. And they're going to mark the ball just shy of midfield at the 48. 3rd down and 5.
Devontae Boyd in the slot here. There he is.
Stanton in the middle, incomplete. Not a well-thrown ball. They would have had a first down.
Stanton's pass is incomplete.
Targeting Devontae Boyd.
Broken up by Tony and
Again, this is Boyd right here in the slot. The ball, you just got to take a little bit off this. I know it's a little bit behind. Tony Anise comes in and knocks that thing loose, and I think he may have injured himself a little bit. As number 18, Tony Anise is limping around out there. He's hurt. He looks like he's really in a lot of pain.
Here's the punt to Chapman. He will not return it. It takes a UNLV bounce into the end zone. Tough break for UNLV, but the Rebels bring their defense back on the field.
Tony Anise is struggling to get off the field, Dan. That's their star captain of their defense. Keep an eye on this as he delivered the blow on Devontae Boyd. He looks to be in a lot of pain.
Central Michigan and UNLV all even at 21. We're back in a moment.
Now your hair can have it all. Head & Shoulders Nourishing Care has ingredients inspired by nature that nourish your hair and scalp for both flake-free and gorgeous hair. Lucky hair. Stay flake-free for life with Nourishing Care.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What about Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday ticket included at no extra charge, only on DirecTV.
Your flight has been delayed another 2 hours.
Mom, this is the worst vacation ever.
Ninja Turtles for you, Girl Meets World for you, golf tournament for you, and Real Housewives for you.
But this is live.
That's right. I just downloaded the free DirecTV app.
Would have been nice to have this an hour ago.
What are you streaming, hon?
How to Get Away with Murder?
The free DirecTV app. Just download and watch. It's your TV. Take it with you.
My name's Emma. I'm 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. And I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
So why the Marines?
is the land that I love, the country I'm honored to serve.
Central football at the 20-yard line. It's been an interesting game. Tied at 21 here. Central Michigan has really kind of not dominated this first half, but you'd have to say that they have been the team that has played the best. But UNLV, a second quarter surge. They're in this game, obviously. Rush sets up a screen, complete. Far side. CMU on the move, trying to get their offense going. And that's Jonathan Ward. Been kind of quiet in the running game.
How about this play here by Talo Talele? A really good tackle, and he's somebody we wanted to highlight going into this game. Coach Kent Bayer said he needs to play better. He needs to tackle better. But let's go back to the last drive. Tony Anise right there on Devontae Boyd, the big hit delivered, and then watch him as he limps off. He's very uncomfortable, and you want to monitor this because he's the captain of that defense.
Second down and 9. Rush keeps it on the ground, and they stay with Ward, who gets a little bit after initial contact. Ball looks like it may have come out. He held it, though.
Third down coming up with Central Michigan. Call it 3rd for the Chippewas.
Central Michigan, 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, both teams today, Dan, have really struggled on 3rd down. Central Michigan just 2 for 6.
Rush will throw quickly, caught, first down, Central Michigan. No yardage after the catch. Corey Willis on the grab. Again, Cooper Rush continues to throw excellent for CMU. Chippewas working from their own 36. UNLV hoping to keep them off the scoreboard the rest of the way here. Play fake, throwing, open, incomplete.
Just missed him.
Underthrown for Kroll.
Just missed Kroll. A little bit high on the outside. It probably would have been a catch and a run upfield for a first down. But Cooper Rush, one of his poor throws of the day, which is something he doesn't
do
very. Yeah, he doesn't do that very often. He just lets that one sail on him. Kroll's like, who is this guy?
I don't know him.
Everything being so much on the money. Get a look at Coach Bonamego. Done a great job here with Central Michigan. Really confident with their ability to maybe win the West this year.
Yeah, they had a great MAC season last year. Here's the run. This is Ward pushing outside the 40 to about the 43.
There's that terrific freshman again, Dan. That three-headed monster in the backfield. Ward is...
First charge timeout, Central Michigan. 30-second timeout.
Let's look at these headshots of Coach. Compliments of Pete, our camera dude.
Central Michigan with the timeout taken here. Central Michigan with trying to go up. As we take a look back in the pages of the CMU football annals, at one point, a thick, lustrous head of hair.
At one point.
At one point in Paw Paw, which is here in Michigan.
Wow, that's a throwback right there. He's going to be mad at us. Although maybe he's happy.
We move ahead. Here's the team football picture. Mid-80s. Mose Rison and John Bonamego together here at this CMU program. So they've been together at different points in their football careers.
Oh, I like that.
And Coach Rison on the cover of the game program.
And those are sweet throwbacks right there.
So him as a player, him as a coach, a lot of tradition here at CMU. Rush on the run, wide open, caught, difficult catch, but CMU goes right back to Conklin for a big pickup, and they are deep in UNLV territory.
First down as the Chippewas move through chain.
is an easy throw for Cooper Rush. The problem is he needs to put a little more on it. He needs to put a little.
Could have been 6.
Absolutely. Conklin's running free in the secondary, and if there was just a little more air on that football, that would have been a touchdown.
To the 26-yard line. Central's going to throw again. Rush in the middle. Touchdown, CMU. They knock another one in the end zone. Corey Willis from 26 yards out.
Well, Tim Huff's put his hands on his helmet thinking, oh my goodness, how'd I let this play go for a touchdown? But he just lets Corey Willis run right by him from his cornerback position on a skinny post. I mean, this is just so easy. There he is off to the right, and he just breaks inside, and he just allows him an easy free release inside for the touchdown, and a really good throw by Cooper Rush. You know, playing cornerback is all about leverage and knowing where the football is going to be delivered, and you look at where the receivers lined up, you try to take away something, and if you don't have safety help, you better be inside.
Cooper Rush, now 15 for 22, 255 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, it's not even halftime.
If you don't have safety help as a defensive back, you have to be inside. You have to play inside leverage. And it doesn't appear that he has anybody in there to help him out. And that's why he throws this right down the middle. You see that? Between the goalposts. That's where he wants that pass to go, Dan. He knows if he puts it right there, Willis will be running right underneath it for an easy touchdown.
Well, that really hurts Tony Sanchez because he was hoping his UNLV team could get to the locker room. Not momentum maybe, but you know, they want to keep this game as close as possible in a game that has gone, you know, back and forth. This has been a roller coaster ride for these teams.
Those are good numbers for a game. This is the first half.
Wow. You would take those numbers for a game.
No question about it, Dan. And you think about, I brought up in the open, he had 7 touchdown passes against, or in the Bahamas Bowl 2 years ago. 7. He's got 4 already here at halftime.
Taken from the 7-yard line, UNLV trying to make some things happen special teams wise. Williams on the return didn't get a whole lot.
I believe that was Western Kentucky in the Bahamas Bowl, I believe.
Our Capital One halftime report will cover a lot of different components. Our MAC division picks.
I can show you how much better I am at picks than you.
Oh, we'll find out, won't we?
We'll have to.
You mean like the official replays today so far?
Oh, okay.
Gutowski 1, Cox 0. Yeah, you know. And also a look at Louisville and their stud quarterback. What a beatdown they put on today. Stanton on first down, high pass, incomplete. That was dangerous.
Look who's back on the field.
Anise back on the field. Well, he comes from good stock, as they say.
He's all right. Watch the hit.
Boyd's got to catch this, though. I mean, that hits both of your hands. I understand you're going to take a little bit of, Mackay Stevenson, not Boyd.
Stanton on the completion there to the 40-yard line. That's Boyd.
Yeah, I think it's important for UNLV to try and get some points here, whether it be 3 or a touchdown, obviously. Remember, Central Michigan will get the football to start the second half. You don't want to go into the locker rooms without any sort of momentum.
Stanton completes near side. They can't spin away from traffic, though. Andrew Price on the grab for UNLV. And the 2-minute drill is up and running for the Rebels.
Also to the stop, Winslow Chapman. Second down coming up for the Rebels.
Stan's got time in the pocket, throwing and into tight coverage, incomplete. Mackay Stevenson.
Broken up on the play by 27 of Sean Bunting. Third down coming up.
Stevenson comes right in here. Pretty good job by Bunting, the freshman who had the interception earlier, showing that he can.
It seems like we've seen Stanton with A lot of his passes seem to get a little bit too high up in the air.
I think he's putting too much mustard on these throws. He's got to take a little bit off of them and allow his receivers to catch them.
3rd and 5, Stanton under some pressure. Now he'll run and get a first down, and he'll get the ball inside CMU territory.
I thought it was funny this week when we talked to Barney Cotton, the offensive coordinator for UNLV, and he said the first week on campus, Stanton slid in practice. And he said, no, son, we don't slide here at UNLV. And that's what you saw right there. His big body's going to always fall forward for extra yardage.
From the 46, he's got time and incomplete. Looking at Boyd.
Isn't that kind of interesting? You think about all these guys at the quarterback position, and, you know, Derek Carr in the pros and Robert Griffin III and these guys who take these hits. It was a big story last week. Quarterbacks not sliding and taking too many hits. Yet here at UNLV, they've got a running quarterback who carried the football 10 times last week, and they want him to actually inflict pain on defensive backs because he's so big and physical.
2nd down, pressure, down goes Stanton. Boy, a gang of red and yellow jersey in there to stop the game clock at 33 seconds. UNLV's got to run a timeout.
Here's some of that pressure. Here's a look.
Just a lot of pressure here. It's just a 4-man rush. But I'll tell you what, Central Michigan just bullies the offensive line for UNLV. It's a pretty good offensive line. Now, they did a pretty good job last week against UCLA, but right here, there's nowhere for Stanton to go. He just has to make sure he tucks that football and doesn't fumble it.
You know, if you're UNLV, no matter what happens in the last 33 seconds, you know you're in this game going to the locker room, and the absence, not deliberately, but Devontae Boyd did not make a lot of noise in this first half, and that has to bode well if you're a UNLV fan.
Well, they were in a similar boat last week against UCLA, and in that they could have been down 7 going into halftime, but they had a turnover that made it a 2-score game.
Stanton complete, and ball is knocked out of the hands.
Wow.
Oh, boy, that was almost a big opportunity for CMU.
Here's a look.
Woods had it.
Yeah, it was Darren Woods.
I mean, good throw. He catches it. But Tony Anise comes in and just strips that football out. So it's an incomplete pass. And now Central Michigan will get this football back. I'd imagine they'll be maybe a little conservative knowing they're going to get it in the second half here. You don't want to do anything dumb.
Yeah, that's one thing that Tony Sanchez will probably mention in the locker room.
And how tough is Tony Anise? He's hobbling around out there, but he just made 2 back-to-back plays on that drive.
Can't keep him off the field. And let's see where they down this punt. It won't matter because CMU is going to just sit on this football anyway. Dropped balls by the UNLV wideouts, and let's be fair to them, that's a position where they're pretty thin right now.
And really, they only have 3 guys. You know, Brandon Presley's out for 6 weeks with a broken foot. They really only have 3 guys between Darren Woods, Devontae Boyd, and Mekhi Stevenson. You know, Mekhi Stevenson was supposed to be the 5th receiver going into the season, but now he's the 3rd guy.
And Kendall Keyes out for the season, injured during camp. So this is an undermanned UNLV receiving corps trying to run with the CMU, and Stevenson is going to get more touches because of it. They just need to hold on to that football better. Cooper Rush has been stellar. He was great against Oklahoma State. Remember we said his offensive line didn't really help him a whole lot. Faced a lot of pressure. His numbers were still good last week. Kept him in the game and then pulled it out at the very end. And down goes CMU. that's going to end our first half of football here in Mount Pleasant. Central Michigan giving up the early special teams touchdown to UNLV, and they turn it around and go to the locker room leading by 28-21 over the Rebels from UNLV. Our Capital One halftime report is looming here from Mount Pleasant. Cooper Rush outrageously good with 4 first-half touchdown passes. Tremendous. We're back to Mount Pleasant in just a moment with Central Michigan leading UNLV by a score of 28-21.
Gary, I am proud of you, my man. Making simple, smart cashback choices. With Quicksilver from Capital One, you're earning unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Like on that new laptop. Quicksilver keeps things simple, Gary. And smart, like you. And I like that.
I guess I am pretty smart.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary. What's in your wallet?
Take on any road with intuitive all-wheel drive. The Nissan Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder.
What's it like to be in good hands? Like finding new ways to be taken care of.
Home, car, life insurance, obviously.
But with added touches you can't get everywhere else, like claim-free rewards or safe driving bonus checks. Oh, yes. Even a claim satisfaction guarantee.
In means protection plus unique extras. Only from an expert Allstate agent.
It's good to be in good hands.
Hotels.com's rewards program is simple. For every 10 nights I stay, I get 1 free.
Cell phone, Captain Obvious.
This, on the other hand, will not be simple.
You're going to have to ride the belt.
Hotels.com. So simple, it's the obvious choice.
I have liquids in my body.
I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn, because you can't beat zero heartburn. Ah, the sweet taste of it.
Prilosec OTC. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Hey, Jesse.
Who are you?
I'm Vern, the Orange Money Retirement Rabbit from Voya.
Vern from Voya.
Yep, Vern from Voya.
Why are you orange? That's a little weird.
Really? That's the weird part in the scenario? Look, Orange Money represents the money you put away for retirement. Save a little here and there, and over time, your money could multiply. See?
Oh, okay.
So, why are you orange?
Funny.
See how Voya can help you get organized at Voya.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the case of death. Madam, if you will take your place. 12 swords, sharpened like razor blades. I will now insert the first blade.
No, stop!
Okay, continue.
Welcome back to our Capital One halftime report here in Mount Pleasant, Central Michigan and UNLV in their respective locker rooms. Dan Gutowski and Dustin Fox. And as we go off the field, take a look at Louisville's great football season. They're a team on the rise, led by their outstanding quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
We're seeing one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
He sees the end zone and a touchdown for the dynamic Lamar Jackson.
This guy scored 13 touchdowns in the first 2 games.
What a hurdle by Jackson! Highlight reel touchdown! Lamar Jackson, you are ridiculous. You're not gonna break, man, this time around.
We're here with Lamar Jackson at the University of Louisville, getting his weight around with Coach Madej.
All the way out, good. Good strength all the way in. Go.
Pull down, squeeze.
Right back up. That's 3. We got 3 more. Rotate it. Good. 20. Palm in. Pause it. Good.
Oh, Machete, get you big. Thank John, the best one I make it. You know, I get one of these every day after workouts. Trying to get big. Big defense coming at you.
He keeps it. He's dangerous. Are you kidding me with this guy? Fires a long one to a wide open man, and he's going to waltz in for a score.
Just got done putting that work in. You know, I'm about to take Keith for still one of our captains and go bust him up in blitz real quick.
Y'all know that ain't gonna happen. All right, you better throw the ball. This ain't real life.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The man gonna fumble on the 4-yard line, bro.
Hey, I'm too good at this, bro.
Oh. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a highlight reel every play, every day. I mean, it's exciting. And just seeing how far he's matured from last year.
Right, now we're heading down to study hall. You know, student come before athlete. Now I gotta hit them real books, not the playbook this time.
When you come back in here, I need you, after class, I need you to come back in and finish your discussion board, okay? I know this is gonna be tough. I know all the glitz and the glam going on, but I need you to stay focused with me, okay? So we can get this thing done. My job is to make sure you get your degree. And I promise you, I'm 100% at that. So don't worry about that. So you're gonna get your degree.
I mean, he's brought a lot to the team. First and foremost, really good leadership. He's been very dynamic on the field, being able to run the ball and throw the ball very well.
This Louisville long ball is on fire right now from Lamar Jackson.
I mean, you can go on and on, really, about, you know, his leadership and his playmaking abilities and stuff, but off the field, he puts in a tremendous amount of work. So when we see him make plays on Saturday, we know why.
Lamar Jackson does it again. Can he do it against Florida State? We'll find out next week.
The game's gonna be crazy. Getting the show on the road. Every game. Every game is a moment to remember. As to the fans this week, I want y'all to throw y'all arrows up in the sky every time someone touch the end zone.
There he is, the man. There he is, the man right there. The man with the plan.
I taught this man the whole offense. Right here. Long hours this summer and in spring. So all the credit should go to me, for real. Everybody watch this. Make sure you vote for him in the Heisman race. For real. Oh. We've never had a Heisman in Louisville history. So let this man take it home.
Man with the plan.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he's been tremendous all season long, and they ran it up today. So that program is definitely going in the right direction.
Oh, big time on the rise. And that kid right there is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, no doubt about it.
Yeah. More halftime from our game here between the Rebels from UNLV and Central Michigan. More from Mount Pleasant in a moment.
Men's hair goes through a lot. So make sure it's ready for anything. Dove Men Plus Care Fortifying Shampoo is specially engineered for men to leave your hair stronger and more resilient. Dove Men Plus Care.
Your flight has been delayed another 2 hours.
Mom, this is the worst vacation ever.
Ninja Turtles for you, Girl Meets World for you, golf tournament for you, and Real Housewives for you.
But this is live.
That's right, I just downloaded the free DirecTV app.
Would have been nice to have this an hour ago.
What are you streaming, hon?
How to Get Away with Murder?
The free DirecTV app. Just download and watch. It's your TV. Take it with you.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday ticket included at no extra charge. Only on DirecTV.
My name's Emma. I am 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. And I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
I'm done with golf. I don't even know why I wear this stupid visor.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
The BMW X1. Lease a BMW X1 for as low as $329 per month.
Welcome back to our Capital One halftime report here in Mount Pleasant as the Chippewas battle the Rebels. Dan Gutowski, Dustin Fox. And Dustin, let's get our thoughts on the teams that we think are going to be dominant in their respective divisions of this Mid-American Conference, East and West. Who do you like in the MAC East and West for the rest of this year?
Okay, let's start with the MAC East because I think Ohio is really on the rise in the East. We know that Bowling Green has really owned that division over the last several years. I think Akron's an improved team. Their defense is better. Thomas Woodson at quarterback. They're going to be just fine there in the East. And I think the West is really where the most unknowns come from. Toledo, Western Michigan, Central Michigan. The one team we left off there, Northern Illinois, they've owned that division for the last 5 seasons. So, I think it's going to come down to Western and Central. That big matchup on October 1st, and the Rockets with Jason Candle, they look to be much improved too.
Yeah, let's flip it and look at my picks. East Division, you and I are in lockstep. Ohio, a favorite. I'm not sure if they're a huge favorite over Akron and Bowling Green, but we still want to see more from the Falcons going forward. But yeah, that West Division, Western Michigan, I'm giving them the nod over Toledo, primarily because I just think the Broncos have some huge playmakers on offense.
I just think you like to row the boat.
I do love row the boat. PJ Fleck loves row the boat. Those Bronco fans love row the boat. And hey, this Central Michigan team that we're watching today, don't be surprised. If they can get that win over Western Michigan, that changes the whole complexion of how the MAC West will play out for the rest of the year. So that's our unofficial selections for the MAC winners in the conference this year. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for our second half of football. We've got UNLV and Central Michigan in the halftime locker rooms. More in a moment when we continue from Mount Pleasant.
What's it like to be in good hands? Man, it's like pure power at your fingertips. Like the power to earn Allstate reward points every time I drive. Want my number? And cash back for driving safe. And the power to automatically find your car. I see you, car. And I got the power to know who's coming and when if I break down. You must be Jerry. Hey, N means getting more from your car insurance with the all-powerful DriveWise app.
It's good to be in good hands.
A man can get pretty dirty in this game. Shane uses new Irish Spring Signature for Men Body Wash. Fresh, cool Irish scent.
Good game today.
Irish Spring cleans a man up right.
I'm done with golf. I don't even know why I wear this stupid visor. Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
The BMW X1. Lease a BMW X1 for as low as $329 per month.
This is 50 pages long. Ah, I think I'm gonna have a panic attack.
My mother passed in 2003, but she always told me, I don't care if you turn out to be a great athlete or whatever, but you need to make sure you get your college degree. Sometimes I call the house just to hear her voice.
Hi, leave a message after the beep.
Hey Mom, this is Larry. I just want to let you know that I fulfilled the promise that you held me to. Love you.
All the world will be your enemy. Prince with 1,000 enemies. Digger, listener, runner. Be cunning and full of tricks. Never be destroyed.
Halftime here at Central Michigan. What a game we've had so far. 4 touchdown throws for Cooper Rush. Central leads 28-21. Welcome back inside. What a great first half of football we saw with these two teams, Central Michigan and UNLV. Dustin, it started kind of slowly for Central Michigan, but once they got their engines running, they really look good here against UNLV.
Yeah, Dan, it was a slow start, obviously, but you had a block punt that allowed the UNLV to get some momentum. Then you had 14 unanswered points yourself, talking about Central Michigan. But then all of a sudden, the UNLV Rebels came right back and got back into this game. Look, to me, it's been kind of a balanced game. Surprised that UNLV's only down 7 points right now when you look at the stats. I mean, it's 255 yards passing for Cooper Rush and 4 touchdowns. You'd think that they'd be blowing them out. It's not the case.
Yeah, let's pick up our highlight package, starting with that special teams mistake by CMU. Very early in this game, the Chippewas didn't look too good early, and the block punt recovered in the end zone. That was the start for UNLV.
It was a good start for the Rebels, but the problem is that they don't have Cooper Rush on their team. Cooper Rush goes right down the field with Jesse Kroll for an easy touchdown pass, and that got the Chippewas on the board, but then they come right back. Take a lead 14-7, easy one to Mark Chapman.
UNLV, they had to kind of find a big play to get back in this game. And here's the 85-yard run by Thomas off to the races. Nobody's going to catch him. And that was finally when UNLV woke up and got back going.
And the offense needed that spark. To that point in time, they only had 35 yards of total offense. And then Stanton comes right back on a big third down. They had a penalty prior to that play that backed him up. Come down 3rd and long and have the touchdown strike.
And now here's Cooper Rush. This one's just too easy. Wide open in the end zone. And again, that's the Chapman. Rush keeps rolling. This time back in the end zone. Another touchdown, Corey Willis, and it's just CMU and Cooper Rush doing a great job here. Timeout here at Central Michigan. The team's coming back on for our second half of football. It's going to be a great one. Central up 7 as we get set for the start of our 3rd quarter.
Hotels.com's rewards program is simple. For every 10 nights I stay, I get 1 free.
Cell phone, Captain Obvious.
This, on the other hand, will not be simple.
You're going to have to ride the belt.
Hotels.com. So simple, it's the obvious choice.
I have liquids in my body.
Many sleep aids have pain medicine, but ZzzQuil is different. Because why would you take a pain medicine when all you want is good sleep? ZzzQuil, a non-habit forming sleep aid that's not for pain, just for sleep.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Oh, hey, Allison. I'm Val, the Orange Money Retirement Squirrel from Voya.
Val from Voya?
Yeah, Val from Voya.
Quick question. What are Voya retirement squirrels doing in my house?
We're putting away acorns, you know, to show the importance of saving for the future.
So you're sort of like a spokesperson?
No, I'm more like a metaphor.
Okay, a spokesmetaphor.
No,
You're a spokesmetaphor.
Yeah, okay.
See how Voya can help you get organized at Voya.com.
Good or better? The Hyundai Sonata versus the Toyota Camry. The Sonata has an available panoramic sunroof. The Camry? No. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
We're going to prove just how wet and sticky your current gel antiperspirant is. And now we're going to show you how Degree Dry Spray is different. Degree Dry Spray goes on instantly dry for a cleaner feel. Degree, it won't let you down.
Who's ready to tailgate? Yeah! You know, they say the pregame is almost as important as the game. I gotta agree. You guys have your football practice. That's for you. But this is how we get ready. Tailgating! Woo! Do you have a pregame ritual? Like something wacky you do? Like
You should just scream in the mirror. I'm hungry.
I'm on it.
Larry Culpepper, this is for you.
Oh.
In your face.
I go down the pepper here.
That's it. That's it. First half stats, well, UNLV ran the football very well. Central Michigan, though, passed the ball very well. So a little bit of a disparity in favor of CMU. But, you know, there were concerns, Dustin. Would UNLV be able to run the football? Well, guess what? Now, those stats are padded, though, by that long run, though.
Yeah, an 85-yard touchdown run in there that will pad those stats. But they needed it, Dan. And They wouldn't be in this game if it wasn't for that. I think that really sparked the offense. It got them going, and it certainly made Central Michigan more aware and respect the fact that these guys can take this to the house if they give them a crease or a seam. And so here we are at halftime, 28-21 in a shootout, almost 50 points, half a hundy at halftime, Dan. I expect the second half to be just as exciting, and I think we could have a fourth quarter game.
Absolutely. And, you know, this is week 3 of the college football season. Pretty much everybody is still trying to figure out their identity, who they are, strengths, weaknesses, and these two teams are no different. So, you know, regardless of what Central did last weekend, they want to validate what they did and show that they're legit going forward.
Oh, boy.
How about Louisville? Man, a smackdown on Florida State.
How about Colorado up at halftime on the Wolverines?
Oh, that does not sit well down in Ann Arbor. And Clemson rolls on South Carolina State. Ole Miss in Alabama.
Baseball game in
and then
Toddy land.
Some good games tonight. Couple of top 25 matchups. Michigan State at Notre Dame. Michigan State coming off a bye week last week, and then Oklahoma home against Ohio State. So, and then we see Georgia and Stanford playing also tonight as well. So, per usual, a busy week of college football all across the board, and we've got what should be a very entertaining second half here between Central Michigan hosting UNLV. The Rebs won the coin toss. They elected to go on offense. Ergo, it's Chippewa football to start our third quarter.
This is an important drive for the defense of UNLV. You really haven't been able to stop Central Michigan all that much. The explosive plays have been a problem. You're going to have an opportunity here to maybe pin them and try and get some field position. Ooh, little chip shot.
A little misdirect here, and Central Michigan getting a chance to return it. And an ankle tackle made. But boy, Central Michigan
trying to get that.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of a chance. And boy, I'll tell you, anything. Now, what do you do if you are Tony Sanchez in that UNLV halftime locker room trying to stop Cooper Rush in this second half? That is not going to be easy. What do you think his game plan is?
I think you have to try and create some pressure, some conflict on the quarterback. That's going to be the key here in the second half. Cooper Rush has had too much time to throw. He's too good of a quarterback. If he sits back there all day, he'll pick you apart.
Rush on first down from the 45-yard line on the good CMU return. The rollout complete. Mishandled. Could have been a catch. CMU looking to connect. Rice on that could have been catch for CMU.
Second 10 coming up for the Chippewas.
Andre Drummond is here. Let me know when you want to do
Chapman's
this.
had a good afternoon. Started off with a nice kickoff return to start this game, and then he's had a couple of real nice receptions from Cooper Rush as this game has gone on as well.
Rush second down and 10 from the 46. Chips keep it on the ground, and Hayes gets wrapped up for a gain of maybe 2 yards. Any direction with Andre yet? Only a gain of 1, so CMU. Are we going to put him on headset or stick mic? Third down and 9. Rush trying to get this second half started the right way for CMU. He dominated the first half for the Chips with 4 touchdown throws. UNLV bringing pressure. Here it comes. Rush going long and just out of the reach. They wanted that long connection. Willis on the almost grab for CMU, but just a little bit too much from Cooper there.
So a good 3 and out here for the Rebels. That's what you needed to have. Your defense didn't have a lot of confidence after that first half to be able to come out. You had that little kind of, not a squib kick, but it was an awkward kick there. You gave them good field position, and now you're going to have a chance to get the football back here into your offense's hands.
Cooper Rush has thrown a lot of good footballs today. That one not quite on the money, and it brings up a 4th and punt situation for CMU. And no fair catch, but the Chips cover it extremely well. And Nakai Stevenson can't return it. Good tackle by Jones. And UNLV brings their offense on the field. What do we like most about what UNLV did offensively in the first half? Again, kind of a slow start. But Dustin, what was your takeaway from what they did?
Well, look, I think offensively, they want to be balanced. We know they can run the football. They rush for 225 yards per game. They really couldn't get that going until they had the big one, the big breakout touchdown run by Lexington Thomas. But I think to start this second half, what you're going to need out of this offense is some quick, easy throws to kind of build that confidence back up of Johnny Stanton.
From the 12-yard line, UNLV on the ground for a good run. Out to about the 20. That's a gain of almost 8 yards.
Yeah, and I got to say, I feel small in this booth right now because I'm excited. We're going to have Andre Drummond join us here in a moment. I feel very small right now as he's standing behind us.
Lexington Thomas on that carry. Drummond was caught up in Chippewa fever after last week's finish, so we'll explain that part of the story coming up. And they pass near side, complete, still on his feet. Oh, they say he stepped out. That could have been a big pickup for Darren Woods, but the step out prevents it from being a long gain.
Did pick up the first down, though, which was the most important thing, but his right foot on the outside did step on the sideline, and Chippewa's catch a break. This is good, though. I mean, you think about this from UNLV standpoint, you need to move the chains. As we get another look at this, nice pump fake from Johnny Stanton. Picked up the cameraman, too. And he comes over there. He steps out right there. Still a first down.
From the 23, UNLV on the ground. Stanton on the keep. And he is brought down at about the 27.
Stanton, the ball carrier.
Again, Stanton not shy about putting his head down and running. We've seen some MAC quarterbacks do a good job of that. Jordan Lynch at Northern Illinois is the guy that stands out for being a kind of a quasi running back.
Well, the thing about having a quarterback who can run is he gives you an extra blocker, right? I mean, when you hand the football off, your quarterback essentially takes himself out of the play. And we do have a new quarterback in the game right now, Dan. Dalton Sneed.
Quarterback switch by UNLV. They're going to run, and they're not going to get much. Maybe almost to the 30. Williams on the carry for the Rebels.
Just a little change of pace because I think Stanton's okay. He's looking at Tony Sanchez there on the sideline.
And he's coming back in now. Nothing for UNLV fans to worry about here. But it's a big 3rd down and 4 coming for the Rebels. Anything they can do to keep CMU's offense and Cooper Rush off the field is a positive. And Stanton's got time. He'll throw off the fingertips. Incomplete. UNLV needed that one. And again, they just can't. Andrew Price, how many drop balls has UNLV had today?
At least a half dozen, and this must be caught. This is a good throw from Stanton. He's got all day to throw on a little corner route. And Price, you got to catch that. That's a first down. It would keep your offense on the field. Instead, now you have to punt this thing away, and Central Michigan will get good field position.
Evan will punt for UNLV. Emmett Thomas is the deep return man this time for CMU. And Pentel gets a good kickoff and a punt. Fair catch at 36-yard line. CMU football, they go back to work with Cooper Rush. Well, we haven't seen a lot of offense so far in this 3rd quarter, but we saw plenty of it in the first half.
Yeah, both teams unable to get anything going here.
What kind of corrections do you want to see UNLV make defensively?
I think you're happy with the last drive. Defensively, you just got to communicate. You got to tackle, and you can't allow busts in the back end in the secondary. They've allowed too many easy chunk plays because guys are just not on the same page.
Quarterback keep for Rush. He's got some room and some footwork. Takes him into UNLV territory inside the 35. Boy, you don't expect Cooper to beat you with his feet. And he has a great run there for CMU.
Kind of fooled me too. I didn't necessarily know who had the football. It's a read. He decides to pull it out the mesh point, and then he just gets upfield. You're right, he's not the most athletic guy in the world, but he does have some deceiving wheels enough to pick up that first down.
So the surprise play by the Chips puts them at the 35-yard line of UNLV. This is Ward on the carry. He's got some space in the middle. Still pulling that line. First down, CMU.
This is where the Chippewas smell that blood in the water. They feel like they're moving downhill, and they are. And I would imagine here at some point, Cooper Rush is going to take another one of these shots to the end zone to either Jesse Kroll or Corey Willis.
And don't forget Conklin.
And Chapman.
And anybody.
He's got a lot of guys.
He's got a lot of weapons. From the 23, Central on the move. Ward again. This time he'll run into some white jerseys down to about the 22.
Ward, your ball carrier. Two-yard pickup on the play. It'll be
only 2 yards. Central Michigan had to come back in this game after they had very poor blocking on a punt. The punt was blocked, recovered in the end zone. CMU's been playing come from behind ever since. But now the 7-point lead here. The ball at the 21. Rush, a lot of time. He's going to throw near side, end zone, incomplete. Wanted Corey Willis, but double coverage.
And double move. That's what Corey Willis was trying to do. He's trying to set up his defensive back by hitting a little stutter and taking it upfield. It's a good throw. The problem was there was 2 defensive backs over top. I mean, this throw is only where his guy can pretty much get it. In fact, I think he should have got it. Looks like a little bit of a drop on the part of Corey Willis. It would have been a tough catch. I'm not blaming him completely, but it was a catchable football.
3rd and 8. Central trying to keep this drive alive and pad their lead here on UNLV. Rush is going far side end zone, incomplete. A little bit underthrown, but a late flag.
Cooper's pass is incomplete, intended for Conklin.
Cooper wanted Conklin, but Troy Hawthorne on the coverage. Looks like that flag's going to go against the Rebels.
It looks like it. At the last second, Cooper Rush saw Conklin running wide open down the far sideline, and Hawthorne comes in and doesn't turn his head around and has the contact.
We saw UNLV get penalized that way earlier.
Personal foul, tripping, number 5, offense. Pass interference, defense. Those penalties offset, 3rd down.
Okay. That was a lot.
We got one. We missed the other.
Yeah. Didn't see the tripping. But this is Hawthorne. He's got to turn his head around. See right there, the contact. You can get away with some of that contact, but he's got to turn his head back around for that football. Instead, it's going to be pass interference. That's an easy call.
So the Chips reload here on 3rd down. Cooper Rush has had a lot of time to throw that football for most of this afternoon here for CMU. He'll throw back the other way, and it's complete to Chapman. Ball is loose. UNLV thinks they have it, and Chapman went down hard. Tim Hoff. Boy, look at that. Mark Chapman very slow to get up. And Central Michigan's going to bring on their field goal unit.
It was a good stop. They were trying to run a missile screen to Chapman, and they can't get blockers in front, and Hoff comes over and just makes a really good tackle. And that's a big play for him because he was beat in the first half on a touchdown to Chapman, and there he sort of redeems himself a little bit.
Cooper Moshenko is...
I think they want to see this.
Ruling on the previous play as the runner was down. That play is under further review.
So we'll review this play and make sure that the runner was down, and Cooper Moshenko is coming on for CMU, but let's take a look here and see what's happening.
Here comes Huff. He gets in there. It's hard to see if his knee is down.
You could see how hard that takedown was.
And I'm not even so sure that it was a catch, because he doesn't necessarily. Well, it is a catch. I'm sorry. He has the football.
Oh, I think he's down.
There's a lot going on that replay. This may be the best view.
Ruling on the field that the runner was down.
I mean, he's on his back.
Yeah.
Isn't that down?
So we'll have a field goal attempt.
Fourth down coming up for Central Michigan.
So a quick review, that brings out Cooper to try a 43-yard field goal. He missed one already today for CMU. Cooper gets it up. That looks awfully good. No, just wide. Couple of misses by Cooper today, and Central comes up empty. We'll come back to Central Michigan. They lead by 7. An NBA All-Star in the house. We'll tell you who it is when we come back to CMU.
With Hotels.com's Simple Rewards program, for every 10 nights I stay, I get one free, which I can use all over the world. Like here, and here, and here.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And with this green screen, I can make it seem like I'm all over the world, even though I'm right here.
Here you are.
I know. I just said that. I'm way overdressed.
Hotels.com. So simple, it's the obvious choice.
Woo!
I'm your tailgate grill. Your buddy was in such a rush to get into the game, he didn't quite put me out. I see you bought the industrial-sized bottle of lighter fluid. Smart. And if you got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Now your hair can have it all. Head & Shoulders Nourishing Care has ingredients inspired by nature that nourish your hair and scalp for both flake-free and gorgeous hair. Lucky hair. Stay flake-free for life with Nourishing Care.
When power, precision, and near-perfect balance run in the family becomes a dynasty. The BMW 3 Series and 4 Series Grand Coupe. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
This is 50 pages long. I think I'm gonna have a panic attack.
You guys gotta get out the shot. Dawn. All right, we're
Welcome back to Mount Pleasant. Dan Gutowski with Dustin Fox. And camera 3 has to zoom out a little bit more right now because Andre Drummond, Piston All-Star, of course, who knows this area fairly well. Andre, tell us the story about your renewed interest in Central Michigan football that started last weekend. Go ahead.
You know, I saw the winning play. I saw the winning play last week, and I was very interested to see how they were doing this year. And one of my good friends actually went to UNLV, so it was kind of a good time to come up. We could have a little rivalry game together.
So you tweeted out that, you know, you saw the end of the Central Michigan game, and then everything falls together after that. So I have to imagine that getting to a college football game, not very easy for you and your schedule.
Not at all, not at all. So whenever I get a chance, I like to come out and, you know, really support all the teams here in Michigan. So next week I'm going to try to get up to Michigan.
Second down and 10 right now for UNLV Rebels. Oh, they're going to give up some yardage here. Good ankle tackle. Boy, that was a standout defensive play.
Thomas, the ball carrier.
Thomas was the ball carrier, but Central Michigan, Joe Ostman, outstanding there. Did you get to watch much football when you were at UConn?
No, not at all. Between our practice times and, you know, film and stuff, I didn't really have time to do anything.
And how well would you say your football knowledge is? 10 being you're pretty comfortable knowing almost everything, 0 being First time ever.
I'll give myself a solid 7.5.
Stanton's got some pressure, and he'll throw. Dangerous throw, incomplete.
Andre, if you played
Stanton's pass is incomplete, intended for
everyone talks about like LeBron James, who he played in high school, he could play, tight end or something. We're looking at you up here in the booth. I mean, you'd be a heck of a tight end, I think.
I play whatever, quarterback, wide receiver, safety.
You want all the see you basketball guys want all the glory. You want to be the quarterback, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna pass very much. I'm just gonna scramble.
Yeah.
Hey, Andre, tell us about your offseason for Pistons fans that are here in Michigan. Obviously, there's so many good things for the Pistons as a team to build on. What would you say were the important components of your offseason trying to improve as a player this year?
For me as a player, I really worked on a lot of things that just a little touch-ups, a lot of stuff in the post I need to work on with both my left and right hand. Obviously the free throws is the big thing. I definitely worked on that all summer as well too. And
we'll talk more with them after this.
All right.
More with Andre Drummond in a moment here from Central Michigan. The Chippewas leading UNLV 28-21.
No, you're good. You're good.
My mother passed in 2003, but she always told me, I don't care if you turn out to be a great athlete or whatever, but you need to make sure you get your college degree. Sometimes I call the house just to hear her voice.
Hi, leave a message after the beep.
Hey Mom, this is Larry. I just want to let you know that I fulfilled the promise that you held me to. Love you.
It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday ticket included at no extra charge. Only on DirecTV.
My name's Emma. I'm 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
Your flight has been delayed another 2 hours.
Mom, this is the worst vacation ever.
Ninja Turtles for you, Girl Meets World for you, golf tournament for you, and Real Housewives for you.
But this is live.
That's right. I just downloaded the free DirecTV app. Would have been nice to have this an hour ago.
What are you streaming, hon?
How to Get Away with Murder?
The free DirecTV app. Just download and watch. It's your TV. Take it with you.
Pretty much anywhere you are in Michigan, you will not have a difficult time finding an Andre Drummond jersey. We got the real deal here with us in the TV booth. Andre Drummond stopping in to watch a Central Michigan football in a home lead for the Chips. Rush handing off. Nope, he keeps it and he slides to about the 40 for a first down. So your interaction with football players at UConn, you said, was a little bit limited?
Yeah, I have one friend on the football team, but other than that, we really have a relationship.
Yeah, and UConn, that's not a program steeped in great football tradition.
We're okay.
Necessarily. I mean,
they're
good, but
why are you taking shots at UConn football? Jeez.
I know you got my back, right, D. Fox?
Absolutely.
But UConn is, they've been a basketball school. You were part of that.
Basketball is our thing.
Second down and 4 for Rush. He'll throw, and it's caught. That's a good catch by Corey Willis, and they gang tackle him at about the 32.
So, Andre, do you find yourself rooting for all the schools near Michigan? Because you've got Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan right there, and of course the Wolverines as well. I mean, because you now live in Detroit and are a Pistons player, do you feel like, hey, man, there's a lot of good college football up here?
Absolutely. I think for me, my goal is to get to at least one college football game.
Yeah.
For each school. So.
Have you been to any others?
This is my first one.
Okay.
My first one on the tour. Next week is Michigan.
All right.
Rush on the move, and he'll throw it. It's caught. Wow, Central Michigan stays on his feet.
Hey.
Corey Willis making it
again.
happen.
He did it
just
again.
like last
Did it
Saturday.
again. He did it again. That is impressive.
He didn't need help on that play.
No, he did not.
Andre, want to give us some analysis? What do you think?
I don't even know what to say about it. He did it the same play. The same play happened again.
It looked like the exact same play as Corey Willis cuts back across the grain and he gets some good blocks down the field. He looked like he was going to fall down at the last second, but Andre, you be the analyst here. What do you see, partner?
I mean, I really like the quarterback. You know, he makes a lot of smart decisions here, and then Corey, just determined to get that touchdown, faked him out.
UNLV's like, didn't we just see that last week on game film? Point
You need to watch out for that kid, man. You need to watch out for him.
Central Michigan building their lead, 35-21 on the touchdown throw from Cooper Rush to Corey Willis. One more quick segment with Andre Drummond of the Pistons, and we're watching Central Michigan. A 14-point lead here at home against UNLV.
Cooper, man. I like it.
When power, precision, and near perfect balance run in the family becomes a dynasty. The BMW 3 Series and 4 Series Grand Coupe. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
Men's hair goes through a lot, so make sure it's ready for anything. Dove Men Plus Care Fortifying Shampoo is specially engineered for men to leave your hair stronger and more resilient. Dove Men Plus Care.
All the world will be your enemy. Prince with 1,000 enemies. Digger, listener, runner. Be cunning and full of tricks. Never be destroyed.
Attention, Holiday Inn Express guests! Everyone, go back to bed! Repeat, everyone, back to bed! My new Snoozer-Palooza's in full effect. That means late breakfast. Check out till noon. So sleep in, baby! Snoozer-Palooza's gonna be great.
Definitely.
What?
Definitely.
Definitely! High fives all around! Yeah! You're eating, okay.
Late breakfast and check out till noon. Just what your weekend needs.
Interesting man in the world.
¿Crees que habrá alguien tan interesante como él?
No es fácil saberlo.
We are back at Central
He's bringing
Michigan.
us back.
Andre Drummond of the Pistons. Hey, Dustin, you're doing a great job. Don't be threatened by this guy.
Listen, his analysis was on point. I'm just going to hand him the mic for the rest of the game.
Andre Drummond, the NBA Alls. How does it feel now when people introduce you as an NBA All-Star?
Oh, man, it's an honor. It's an honor to really be called that. And the hard work I put in to become an All-Star was I couldn't have done it with my teammates and my coaching staff. So my goal now is to do it again and make the city great.
Yeah, the ceiling is high for you.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. I mean, the Pistons fans know, where your game can go and where the team can go. UNLV is going to run the football out of the end zone, and he'll get knocked down. So we're going to let you go quickly here, but training camp is moving for all the NBA teams. Do you start thinking already about team goals? I know you guys had a team outing in California. Take us into that part of your mindset right now.
Yes, every summer I do a little team outing where I make sure no coaches are around, no training staff, just the guys, and we'll go to a different part of any part of the state, and we'll just hang out for a week or work out and really just bond. Because usually we bring in a couple new guys every year, obviously the draft picks, and if we make trades in the offseason. And for me, my goal is to make sure guys are as comfortable as possible before training camp starts, which is why we went to Malibu this year. And it was a great time. I mean, we were missing 2 guys, Aaron Baines and Michael Benajay, who were in the Olympics, obviously, but everybody else showed up, and we had a great time, and I think we're ready to go.
Obviously, you made it to the playoffs last year. You guys were an 8 seed, and you get the experience playing the Cavaliers, a team that went on to win the NBA championship. How much can you build from that experience of making it there? I know you guys, you didn't win any games in the playoffs, but you played tough. I mean, you beat the Cavaliers up a little bit.
Yeah, we played the Cavs 4 times. We beat them 3 out of the 4 times, and obviously we matched up very well with them. And we're a very young team, and we have a really young core, and that experience for us is huge for us to be on that stage and see what it's like to be in the playoff run, because a lot of guys in my team haven't been in that position before, including myself. So it's a learning experience for all of us.
Andre, it's been a lot of fun having you join us today here at Central Michigan.
Thank
this
you
is a social outing for you, so we'll let you get back to enjoying the game day experience, and good luck for the Pistons the rest of the year.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Andre Drummond of the Pistons starting to experience college football in this Central Michigan football team. And we thank him for joining us today here at Mount Pleasant. And UNLV is going to get themselves a first down. Critical part of this game, Dustin. Now it's a 2-score game, and the Rebels are down 14 points.
The ball carrier.
Well, obviously, you're in the game. I mean, your offense has been able to put up some points in this game. You just need to get some drives going. You got to move the sticks. You got to get past midfield here.
They throw behind the intended receiver. Again, it seems like the UNLV passing game is just a little bit askew today.
Every pass has just been a little bit too far behind the receivers. A little bit too much zip on the ball. I feel like Stanton just hasn't been able to be comfortable, and his receivers aren't comfortable either, because he's not throwing a ball that can be caught.
Holding offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Too many penalties. That's been a
bugaboo,
unpleasant component of this game for Tony Sanchez. So the ball going back to the 28-yard line for UNLV. Now they throw the flag.
False start, offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The 7th penalty, Dan, for 69 yards for this UNLV football team. You can't kill yourself on the road, and Coach Sanchez is letting him know that's unacceptable.
So it's 1st and 21, UNLV inside the 15. Stanton, a little swing pass, incomplete. And that should have been a completion to Lexington Thomas.
Incomplete, intended for Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down and 25 for UNLV.
And 1st and 26. And this is not going to pick up 26 yards. It's a swing pass to the flat where Central Michigan was going to run that thing down for a minimal gain. If they want to get this thing moving, you got to get some chunk plays here, especially on 2nd and 25. Get a look at the penalties. Central Michigan only has 1, 7 for UNLV.
They're going to run, and they will not get anything on the near side. Central Michigan doesn't
Thomas,
get fooled.
the ball carrier.
Lexington Thomas is the ball carrier, and well, this has been a UNLV offense that seems to have kind of gone off the rails a little bit.
Well, they're running sideline to sideline. They're not getting north and south. That's the problem. Yeah, they ran 25 yards on that play, but they ran 25 yards down the sideline, and you allow the Central Michigan defenders to just run that thing down. To me, that's not attacking this defense the way they did in the first half.
And now it's 3rd and 27, so your chances of a first down now are remote. Let's see if they aggressively attack. Here's a screen pass, wide open, and they can't connect on it.
Intended for David Green.
David Green, the intended receiver. How do you miss that?
Well, he had pressure in his face, first and foremost. He was trying to get the screen out, but he didn't have a chance. And take a look at the pressure here bearing down on him.
Yeah, his receiver maybe a little bit slow that time, but regardless.
Colt Odegaard coming in
to kick off for the
from
Rebels.
his safety position right off the edge. Nobody picks him up.
And missing the punt, blocked out of the end zone, and it's a safety. Well, UNLV had a special teams opportunity. CMU has one of their own.
The momentum is certainly shifting. You can feel it right now. Just that last drive, penalty, backed up, incomplete pass, and then you try and just punt the football away, and you allow a jailbreak opportunity by the Central Michigan block team. Just too many guys. You've got 3 guys back there as a personal protector, and you're rushing 5.
Wow.
There's just not enough bodies, Dan, to protect that punter. That's too easy. I'll tell you what, though, UNLV is lucky that that was just a safety and not a touchdown.
Could have been 5 more. Ooh, Tony Sanchez doesn't like where his football team's at now. The upside is they'll at least get the football back. And Cooper Rush is off the field, as opposed to being on the field. So CMU pads the lead, 37-21.
Central Michigan with the safety, 4:40 to go in the third, 37-21, Chippewas.
Well, the only positive here, I guess you could say, is that, yeah, you gave them 2 points, but hopefully now you can at least put them back behind midfield, whereas you're kicking from your own end zone. They probably would have got it where? 30-yard line, 35-yard line?
Your field possession would have been horrible.
Is it worth 2 points? I don't know, but it's still only a 2-possession game, right?
Not a good outcome any way you slice it for UNLV. And Pantels will kick. Amari Coleman is the deep return man for Central Michigan. As the Rebels have been kept on the scoreboard here in this second half. Coleman from his 20, running up the middle, spins to outside the 40.
Well, this is a vital possession for this defense, this Rebels defense. If you want to get back into this game, you must get off the field. You cannot allow Central Michigan to go down here and score and, you know, go up 23 points. I mean, it's a death blow, considering Central's offense and how much UNLV lacks that offensive explosive plays. Got to get a big stop here, Dan.
Well, tough times for UNLV. It's been all Central Michigan in this third quarter, and the Chips have their big guns back on offense with Cooper Rush. Oh, little trickery. They're going to throw it, and they will incomplete. Well, they got the tight end throwing the football. Conklin was the intended receiver. Jesse Kroll throwing to a tight end.
He was open.
Second down for the Chippewas.
Kroll just needs to put this one on him. And the problem is here, when you do these double reverse passes, whoever is going to throw it, they're not used to throwing. They're not quarterbacks.
He could have set his feet, too. He didn't have to throw on the run like that.
Well, sometimes I think these guys are better throwing on the run because they're more comfortable. They're not used to that. But to the point is, if you don't feel like you're going to get it there, you can just turn it upfield and run with that thing.
Second down, they're going to screen it underneath. Almost picked off. Boy, UNLV almost had a chance there to do it.
And you get the sense that that may be how they get back in this game. A defensive touchdown, right? And a turnover that could allow them to get some momentum back. And you're right, this was almost intercepted. It could have been a big-time play for this defense. Just trying to set up a screen. The ball was batted down by Mike Hughes, and he nearly catches it on the double ricochet.
At some point, you need your defense to make a big play. This has been not many turnovers in this game, but UNLV needs a little extra push, and they may get help here from Central Michigan as flags fly and maybe some movement.
That was the dash team, by the way, on that ricochet.
False start offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty, third down.
So a rare penalty by Central Michigan. Game clock is a factor here too. Central Michigan, if they win ball control, time of possession, that's going to make it harder for UNLV going forward. Third and 15 for Cooper Rush. Not much of a pocket. He'll improvise and complete for a first down. Wow, what a great throw by Cooper. On the run, not much space to throw in, and he gets it complete to Corey Willis. And that kills the Rebels.
Yeah, that's a kill. Third and 15. You get a decent pass rush here, and you force Cooper Rush out of the pocket. Yeah, watch right here. Good rush. The problem is that Cooper Rush knows what to do with it when he gets outside the pocket. He finds his go-to receiver in Corey Willis, who seems to be kind of right place, right time kind of guy for this team. And on third and 15, that's a dagger for your defense.
Ball is in Rebel territory at the 44. And they run. This is Hayes getting outside and brought down inside the 40.
Got a great block by Eric Cooper, the wide receiver, blocking down, and it springs Hayes for 5 yards. Take a look at number 12 here, right on the edge. He's going to block down. Let's call this a crackback block, and he does a good job right there. Boom, beautiful. And Hayes just gets upfield for 5 yards.
Second and 5, CMU. They led by 7 at the half, and they've done all the scoring here in this third quarter on UNLV from the Mountain West. Here's a carry, not much. Corey Willis. Again, Central Michigan doesn't have to do anything too fancy now.
No gain on the play.
Let that clock roll. We had a lot of excitement and energy in that first half. A lot of offensive points. Hasn't really carried over into this second half. Third and 5. Central with Cooper Rush passing and incomplete. And he got pressure.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Conklin.
And we talk about what a great day it's been for Cooper Rush. 4 first half touchdown throws. Last year he had back-to-back games where he had 4 touchdowns in each game, in those 2 games. And he had 4 last week, done it again this week. First Central Michigan quarterback ever to do that multiple times.
Well, good stop by UNLV. You're going to get the football back.
Jack Sheldon on in punt formation.
Thing to keep an eye on here, you hope if you're UNLV, you can either fair catch this at the 10 or get a return. The last thing you want to allow them to do is pin you deep.
They're going to let it go, and it's going to take a CMU bounce to the 9-yard line.
That's going to be a touchback, Dan. If the ball crosses the line, the plane,
and gets knocked
out, even though it didn't go down in the end zone, it crossed that plane, and so they'll bring it out. At least that's what the discussion's going to be.
So UNLV has not had any answers for what Central Michigan has done in this third quarter. Let's see if we can find out where the ball...
It doesn't matter if he's in the end zone. It's where that ball goes. And the ball, certainly from my vantage point, that's not the best view. There'll be another one coming right here. See, watch that ball. When that ball crosses that plane there, that's a touchback.
Hard for the officials to make that call, but...
Well, the official's right there. He's down the line. Like, he's looking at that, and he sees that ball go through that imaginary plane. That's a touchback.
From the 20. Stanton with time, deep ball, far side, overthrown.
Stanton's pass is incomplete.
they're not out of this game. I mean, they're somehow able to go down here and get a touchdown. Obviously, you'd probably go for 2 to try and make it a one-score game, but there's still a whole fourth quarter to go.
We've seen the Rebels rally in this game.
Well, they were down 14-7, and then they rallied to take the lead 21-14. So they've come back in this game already 2 scores.
Second down and 10 for Stanton. Little completion out here, but Central swarming and putting down Williams. 3 gold jerseys. Put the hammer down on Charles. He's a little slow to get up, and you can see why.
You almost get the sense that UNLV is just really frustrated on offense. You know, they can't really get anything going on the ground. Stanton's not effective through the air. He's throwing balls over his receivers' heads. The receivers can't catch the football. It's just got to be really, really frustrating for this offense.
Yeah, that's a bad recipe. 3rd and 7 here for Stanton. He's got time, but nobody downfield. Now he completes it, but an insignificant catch by Williams, and it's punt time for UNLV.
Yeah, Stanton's got all day to throw. I mean, he's got good protection, 3-man rush. They're not really worried about that. Chippewas are going to play coverage. He's lucky to escape the pocket and survive.
Thomas is the return man, standing at his 45-yard line for CMU. Low snap and a line drive punt. Thomas will take it at the 50, and he'll come back the other way. Good ankle tackle.
Thomas on the return. Tackle by the long snapper, Joe Lang.
The long snapper makes the tackle. So
Rush having a good day.
We'll look at Cooper Rush and what a bang-up job he's done. This is a great highlight package here.
Oh, he's done a terrific job as advertised. We've watched him for the last 4 seasons, but he's just doing it all over the place. He's got a bunch of different receivers, including Jesse Kroll, Corey Willis, Mark Chapman. There's Chapman on the touchdown catch. The thing about Cooper Rush, too, Dan, is that he's not the most vocal guy. He's not going to lead by being a rah-rah guy. He's just very kind of calm. He's got a great demeanor about him. He's a captain, by the way. Does a good job.
Rush on the rollout, deep downfield, incomplete.
Cooper's pass is incomplete.
Looking for Corey Willis as we look at our numbers and scoreboards around the Mid-American Conference.
Ooh.
How about the halftime score in Champaign?
How about row the boat?
Are they going to make it 2-0 on the Big Ten this month? Ball State, a comfortable lead. Ditto for Toledo. San Diego State at Northern Illinois.
And Toledo putting it on the Mountain West as well. Big win looming there for the Rockets.
Well, does that change your selection about who's going to win first place in the MAC West?
No, come on. They haven't played each other yet.
Hayes on the run into Rebel territory.
I'm saying there's a fumble at the bottom of this pile. I'm not sure the official feels that way.
UNLV hoping this is a possible turnover. Nope. CMU football.
By a host of Rebels. It'll be 3rd down coming up the second.
And UNLV, we talk about, what's their, as we take a look at the replay here. Well, big pile up here.
I think they want to just.
Now they call it.
Now they want to just take a double check. I thought the ball was maybe coming out.
Ruling on the previous play is that the runner was down. That play is under further review.
Boy, that's pretty hard to tell, isn't it?
From that view, it's really tough.
Well, we spent our halftime talking about where we thought some of the better MAC teams.
Well, the ball's out. I mean, somehow, yeah, the ball squirts all the way from behind. So somehow that thing comes out. Just it's a matter of when does he lose the football.
Well, you know what UNLV's hoping for.
The ball's out right there, Dan, right in the middle. That's a fumble.
All right.
Because I don't think his knee was down. It's hard to tell if you can. See, look at the ball right there. No one even knows it's out, and UNLV is going to come up with that.
That would be Ryan McAleenan on the recovery.
Now, the only question is, can you tell if the knee is down? I mean, he's up in that scrum in the pile, and the ball comes squirting out. Nobody knew until the last second. All of a sudden,
there's the ball.
The Rebels go, oh, there's the football. The Central Michigan offensive players had no clue. See, watch right in the middle of this, Dan. Ball's out right there. Absolutely fumble.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he's up.
All those shadows, that makes it hard. So that's on the officials to spot that.
He's rocking it back, yeah.
See, watch, Dan. There's no way he's on the ground at this point, right? Right here, he's still up.
Yeah,
and the ball is out right there.
Yeah, that's a fumble.
Great job by our camera crew checking that, because that's a fumble right there.
Forget tape. They're doing a heck of a job.
Great job by our crew, the entire staff here, doing a good job.
After review, it was determined that the ball was fumbled and recovered by the defense. It'll be UNLV's ball at their own 46-yard line. Please set the game clock to 45 seconds, please. 45 seconds.
Now the key for Tony Sanchez is, hey, guys, let's capitalize on this. And, we hear the stories about the length of games going longer, but the bottom line is the officials owe it to the teams to get the calls right. "45 seconds left in our third quarter. Stanton trying to juice it up for UNLV, and the Rebels get a run, and a big one. Wow, what a carry for the UNLV's Mark Chapman.
Well, Dan, and this is what happened in the first half, right? When they finally got the turnover and gave them that momentum shift. If they can get some offense going here, that would certainly help the momentum shift and get them back in this game.
Sorry, Thomas on the carry for UNLV. Rebels on the move at the 41. The turnover. Can they get a score late here? Stanton pump faking, and now he fires it.
Stanton's pass
to the CNU sideline. Incomplete.
Number 10, Darren Woods. Josh Coxon on coverage for the Chippewas. Second down coming up for the Rebels.
This is the real hard test for Stanton and this UNLV offense. Last week's game at UCLA, you can understand why in that environment you can't shine, but can he do it here on the road against Central Michigan? Lexington Thomas, the carry and the stop.
Thomas, the ball carrier.
4-down territory here. Fourth quarter coming up for UNLV.
Coming up for the Rebels.
But you know what?
You have to feel good about that. No question. Hey, two-score game. The way this thing was trending there in the third quarter, to get that turnover, you have new life here. Big fourth quarter coming up.
Central Michigan trying to hold back the Rebels. Been a big game for Cooper Rush. Our fourth quarter when we come back to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, hard work and dedication, but that's not enough. You look at this cookie cutter, copy and paste, blah. Where is something new, something different? There. Come on, you freaks. Unleash your creativity. Free your imagination. Shock the world. Be the next. Make your own luck. Do something different. Make this guy steal your look. Create something. Why are you even here? Sport needs you.
When power precision, and near perfect balance run in the family becomes a dynasty. The BMW 3 Series and 4 Series Grand Coupe. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
What's it like to be in good hands? Man, it's like pure power at your fingertips. Like the power to earn Allstate reward points every time I drive. Want my number? And cash back for driving safe. And the power to automatically find your car. I see you, car. And I got the power to know who's coming and when if I break down. You must be Jerry. Hey, N means getting more from your car insurance with the all-powerful DriveWise app.
It's good to be in good hands.
You know that moment? As you begin your morning routine, it borders on ritual. As you take in what happened overnight, you're more equipped than ever to make things happen, right here, right now. Welcome to the new Scott Trade. Whether you know where you're going or need guidance to get there, we're here to help. Now is your moment.
You're back. Fourth quarter football here in Mount Pleasant. UNLV had an early lead, couldn't hold it. Now they're trying to fight back in this game against Central Michigan's Chippewas. CMU trying to go 3-0.
The bugaboo for this UNLV offense, has been third down. 4 for 14 so far in this game. None bigger than this one upcoming.
Stanton will hand off, and Central Michigan puts the hammer down. A risky play call on 3rd and long, and the Rebels come up empty.
Yeah, it's an interesting call here on 4th down. Do you decide to go for it? You're down 2 scores, and maybe more than that because you need 2-point conversions, or you're going to punt. I think he's going to leave his offense out there, Coach Sanchez is, and sticking with that Vegas theme.
Lexington Thomas had nowhere to go. Risky play here for UNLV. Stanton, pressure, ball up in the air, picked off. Central Michigan's going to take this interception and get to about the 45-yard line. Nathan Ricketts on the INT.
Well, no worse for the wear with the INT because you're about where you would be if you didn't get it. There's also a penalty flag down. I think there's going to be some sort of a call on the UNLV sideline because it was very far away from the play, and Coach Sanchez is not happy.
Sideline interference, UNLV. That'll be tacked on 15 yards from the end of the return, 1st down.
Well, you can't have a mistake like that in a game that's still winnable.
Here's a look.
Stanton's going to step up in the pocket. Well, UNLV gets away, with a face mask penalty there, but the pressure was so good that it allows the deflection. Ricketts comes up with the interception, and boy, that may seal it. I know it's early, but the way this game has trended, you feel like a 16-point lead for this offense, and the way that defense has been playing, it could be enough.
Yeah, it's been all Central Michigan in the second half. Not a lot, but enough. They were up 28-21, and now it's Cooper Rush with 4 first-half touchdown passes. He's looking for 5, and he got it. Touchdown, CMU. Oh, what a hookup. The Chippewas go with Brandon Childress, a guy who's off their depth chart, but he gets hit on the fun and games as well. Backbreaker.
Dan, it doesn't matter who you are. If you play wide receiver for the Chippewas, there's a decent chance you're going to find yourself in the end zone. Right here. Childress is going to be in the inside, and somehow he just runs scot-free down the field. Torrey McTire, the defensive back with outside leverage. That's the second time in this game that a defensive back from the Rebels has allowed a receiver inside technique with a free release.
Childress is a redshirt freshman. But guess what? He's just got a touchdown for CMU. And Cooper Rush continues to shine. A quiet third quarter, but he starts the fourth quarter with a bang.
Look at the vision here by Cooper Rush. He's always keeping his eyes down the field. That's what scouts look for. And that's how he's able to see Childress running so wide open. It's not like he locked his eyes on his initial target, Dan. He was able to see down the field. You always hear Drew Brees talk about this. You work your progression from top back down. And that's what he did on this particular play. He sees Childress, he spots him, he delivers it on time, and it's a touchdown.
He served up that one on a platter. 5 touchdowns for Cooper Rush. Oh, sorry, 6. You know what? Well, at this point, you run out of fingers and hands and all that.
Just keep adding the touchdowns to his career list. Remember, we mentioned that 7 touchdown performance at the Bahamas Bowl. Well, he's on track for maybe at least tying that or maybe exceeding that.
Evie with the kick. Williams with the return.
Off the turf, and UNLV is going to get nothing on in that return. And Central Michigan is starting to put a stranglehold on this game.
Well, the Rebels they can't do anything right at this point in time. So many penalties, drop passes. Dan, when you go on the road into a hostile environment like it is here at Kelly Shorts, you must be mistake-free. The Chippewas are a team off a big win. Top 25 win in Stillwater against the Cowboys from Oklahoma State. They're riding high. The expectations here are to go to 3-0. By the way, that would be the first time since 2002 this team would be 3-0. You've got to be mistake-free, and they just have not done that in this game.
So the Rebels at their own 5-yard line. Tackled in the backfield. Defensively, Malik Fountain continues to shine for CMU.
David Green, the ball carrier.
Green, the ball carrier, and
watch the athleticism here from Malik Fountain. Coach was telling us how excited he is about him. Watch this, shoots his gap. He sees that gap open up, and as a linebacker, you're like a shark in the water with blood. You smell that, you sniff it out. And Fountain, who was probably the most athletic linebacker on this defense, with a big stop.
Stan's going to throw out of his end zone. Deep throw, way too high. Boyd, the intended wideout. I'm sure the UNLV fans were wishing we'd be calling Devontae's number a lot more today, but it just hasn't unfolded for them that way offensively.
I think we're learning something about the Central Michigan defense, Dan, and that is that they are absolutely legit. You know, the first in the MAC last year in total defense, 232 yards per game allowed. You know, so far this season, they're on track to be even better than that. Only 220 yards so far per game. They're stopping the run. They're doing it all.
3rd down and 12. The Rebels run and get it beyond the 5. But not much after that. And Pantels will come on to punt for UNLV.
I'll tell you what, this is a game, coming into it, that I thought was a bit of a trap game for the Chippewas. You know, this game's sort of sandwiched in between another Power 5 opponent next week in Virginia. And I think as players sometimes you can get caught looking ahead, especially off that emotional victory last week. And if you don't take this game for what it is, and it is a very big game, it's important, the UNLV Rebels can play. I thought there's a chance that the Rebels could catch him slipping, and they certainly have not done that.
Emmett Thomas on his feet, and he's brought down some flags at about where he caught that punt.
Legal block in the back is going to be the call. It's going to come back here on the Chippewas.
A timeout here at Central Michigan with the Chippewas. Chippewas with a comfortable lead here, 44-21.
During the return, block in the back, return team number 6. 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
A break here in Mount Pleasant. It's been all CMU in our second half of football. They want to keep their season perfect as they lead big on UNLV.
Hotels.com's rewards program is simple. For every 10 nights I stay, I get 1 free.
Cell phone, Captain Obvious.
This, on the other hand, will not be simple.
You're going to have to ride the belt.
Hotels.com. So simple, it's the obvious choice.
I have liquids in my body.
The Hyundai Tucson versus the Ford Escape. Estimated fueling costs and routine repairs? The Ford's higher.
What's happening, guys? Very funny.
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
In football, going for two can be risky. In pizza, it's a sure thing.
Now get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. That's right, just $6.99 each.
Better ingredients.
Better pizza.
Papa John's.
I'm sorry.
You dropped this.
I'll be posting results in the morning. You guys did great.
With full game replays, you can replay entire games, which gives you more football. Start your free trial at NFL.com/Game Pass.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
¿Crees que habrá alguien tan interesante como él?
No es fácil saberlo.
Central Michigan's been dominant in this second half against UNLV. And the Rebels are running out of answers here against the Chippewas. Now it's CMU football from their own 43-yard line. Cooper Rush, 6 touchdown throws. And you know it's just time for the Chippewas to bleed this clock. Boy, is that guy fun to watch or what? Look at that.
I mean, he's tripled UNLV's passing attack. Oof.
Give him 6 on the play of the second 4 for CMU.
I tweeted out earlier today, if you're interested in NFL quarterback prospects, you want to keep an eye on this game because this guy is going to be a terrific pro, I believe. I mentioned earlier he's projected so far to be maybe a 3rd-round pick. I think he can get as high as a 2nd round. I mean, right now, he's about the 4th-rated prospect in the country. But, Dan, you know how these things go.
What do you think? What about his athletic skills make him an NFL prospect? What do we like about him?
Number one, it's his size, right? You look at him and the way he stands in the pocket, 6'3", he's big, 230 pounds. That's important because obviously in the NFL you take a lot of hits. You look at guys like Big Ben, they're able to survive. Jameis Winston, some of these bigger guys who've had success, and that's what he's able to do. But also the fact that he has some ridiculous intangibles. He's a great leader, on and off the field. He's all academic, Mid-American, like he does it all. As you get a look at the race to catch Dan Lefevre, all-time leading passer here for the Chippewas, I think he's got a shot to do that. But it's going to take more games like this.
Central Michigan in great shape when he's under center as they move into Rebel territory now at the 42. Nothing there. CMU they don't have to do anything but give up game clock here as Ward carries again. Ward, a freshman. So he'll be an impact player down the road for CMU.
Yeah, good-looking freshman. Not very big. 185 pounds. Coach was saying before the game, he's just got to learn to do all the little things. Pass protection. Understanding where he needs to be in terms of running his routes. But in terms of just his skill set as a running back, I mean, he's got it all. His speed, he's elusive. They love him.
2nd down and 9 for CMU. They've dialed down the passing game, and Ward carries again. This time he gets stuck. And to kind of reset this game, a special teams mistake by CMU got UNLV on the board. Central really kind of handled the first half. UNLV figured out a way to hang around, but the second half, big time Central Michigan push by Cooper Rush and company, and it's just been too much for the Rebels to handle.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Chippewas.
3rd and 5 as Rush tries to keep it going for CMU. Oh, ball is almost picked. Late flag. That's probably pass interference.
Cooper's pass is incomplete. Intended for Eric Cooper. Penalty marker.
Just keep tacking these penalties on to the Rebel defense right now. But Coach Sanchez is going to have a lot of teaching points when he gets back to Las Vegas.
Pass interference, defense, number 1. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, first down.
So CMU keeps the football and gets the first down. And there's not going to be a lot of feel-good vibe in that Rebel locker room after this game. But these are the kind of growing pains that a team can go through. And Tony Sanchez is confident his team will get there eventually. Ward on the edge, almost gets free.
Jonathan Ward,
maybe a gain of about 3 yards.
Kenny Keys in on the
And I know there's about 9 minutes of game clock left, but you know, it just feels like this second half has been all Central Michigan, and at some point UNLV kind of lost their footing here.
Well, they've been going 3 and out on offense. The penalties have killed them. You know, not being able to move the football is really what hurts this football team. And when you have a defense that's on the field all day, defenses get tired, Dan, a lot quicker than offenses. So time of possession, when you go back and look at this thing, that's going to be a big key to why Central Michigan's going to win this football game.
Jeray Hayes on the carry.
That's enough for a first down.
CMU first down.
As the Chippewas
These guys had a lot to do with it today in the line.
And you know what? Yes, credit the offensive line because they kind of were a big question mark after the Oklahoma State game, and they answered the bell big time today.
Yeah, last week the offensive line was a little bit of a struggle. In fact, they decided to make some moves up front. They moved Kenny Rogers out of the starting lineup, put J.P. Quinn in, and Shakir Carr started at left guard. They wanted to try and get some more consistency on the offensive line. And tell you what, Dan, so far today, it seems to have last week. They allowed 3 sacks, and Cooper Rush was sort of running for his life quite a bit of that football game.
And back to UNLV for a moment. You know, this is a team that, you know, was not really picked to do a lot in the Mountain West, western half of the bracket this year. But, you know what, that's not a necessarily strong division. So that they might still have new life when they get into conference play, despite, you know, kind of underwhelming performances the last 2 weeks. 2nd down and 8. Hayes gets wide, flag down. He gets close to the first down marker.
There's a penalty marker on the play.
Holding, offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, here's the question. You going to let Cooper Rush put one of these in the air? I don't get the sense that it feels like running up the score now. I mean, it's a 23-point game.
I don't know if there's a right or wrong for that.
I mean, is Coach Sanchez going to get upset if they put one in the air here on, 2nd and 20?
He probably has some other things that he's a little more upset with, but
I'm just surprised. I thought that UNLV's offense would be able to do more. They haven't had a point in this half.
First charge timeout, Central Michigan.
I got got to think John Bonamigo, too.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
His message to his team at halftime was, hey, look, you know, if we think we're a legitimate team,
Full timeout, break time, music.
we're going to make it happen in the second half and finish strong. 44-21, Central Michigan leading UNLV.
Around here, the early bird gets the waffle. But for all the other birds who could use a few more minutes of sleep, we've got you covered. Enjoy free breakfast on the run and free Wi-Fi. Book at Hampton.com for a guaranteed discount.
My name's Emma. I'm 15. I was bullied all through middle school. That's when I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and an eating disorder.
It's like I'm stuck. It's like impossible to move. And I just feel like people just will think I'm making it up.
You need to tell someone because people do care and you're not alone. I don't think depression makes me a bad person. I think it makes me stronger.
It's Peyton. It's Peyton on Sunday morning.
E-Man.
What up, Peyton?
You know I have DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. I get every game, every Sunday, all in HD.
Yeah, I know that.
So you want to come over? I'll make nachos.
I can't right now, man. I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Pencil you in for Tuesday.
Get NFL Sunday ticket included at no extra charge. Only on DirecTV.
Your flight has been delayed another 2 hours.
Mom, this is the worst vacation ever.
Ninja Turtles for you, Girl Meets World for you, golf tournament for you, and Real Housewives for you.
But this is live.
That's right. I just downloaded the free DirecTV app.
Would have been nice to have this an hour ago.
What are you streaming, hon?
How to Get Away with Murder?
The free DirecTV app. Just download and watch. It's your TV. Take it with you.
Now it's time for the Capital One Impact Performance. Anyone but Cooper Rush? Nope. 6 touchdown throws. That says it all. Tremendous numbers from Cooper Rush today. And he spread the ball around, too. This is not, keying on one receiver necessarily. Chapman had a couple of touchdown grabs, but it's been a lot of guys getting in the game for CMU and making good things happen. Little halfback toss on the run, complete. Wow, what a great throw.
Right to the first down marker, too. And this is Jonathan Ward.
Eric Cooper on the catch. Ooh, incomplete. Boy, that looked pretty good. Let's see the replay.
In challenge for 12, Eric Cooper.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Third down.
Maybe no possession?
No, I think it bobbled as he went to the ground. Tough to tell from that view, but it certainly was bobbling. Now do we get a chance to see touchdown number 7?
Lucky 7. Roll the dice. Here's Cooper Rush. It's been a hot hand all day. 3rd and 18.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
They saw something to warrant them to buzz down to the sidelines and take another look at this one. I thought that initially from our vantage point up here in the booth, it looked like a catch. This may be a better view. It looks like he has it there as the defender comes in.
I think that's a catch because he had his hand under the ball.
Yeah, the ball can move.
When he landed, yeah.
The ball can move as long as that forearm's underneath of it.
Juggle, possession, bang. I say catch.
Guess who had the big hit there? Kenny Keys. We mentioned he was going to come back in the second half, and he is in. Remember, he had the targeting call last week against UCLA. He missed the first half of this game, but he's now eligible for the second half. Maybe a little too late. And Cooper's arguing with the officials that he had his paws underneath of it.
After review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is confirmed. Third down.
Well, it looked really good until that last moment. And Central Michigan opening up the playbook a little bit. Are you surprised Cooper Rush is still in?
I'm not really surprised. It was still a 23-point game. It's not like this is a 7-touchdown blowout here.
They'll hand off to Ward. He'll get nothing.
Jonathan Ward, your ball carrier.
We'll work on the field goal unit here.
Never a bad time for that.
We have a 4th down for Central Michigan.
Moshienko has not done well for CMU. 2 misses today.
On to attempt the field goal. Chapman to hold.
And in fact,
it's a 43-yard attempt.
Let's see what he can do with this 43-yard kick. So they wave it off. Evie on the kick. And that's no good. So Central Michigan, they got a little work to do on their field goal kicking. Now, it hasn't gone good to anyone that's been kicking for them.
Well, Coach Bonamigo's a special teams ace. Obviously coached in the NFL as a special teams coordinator for many, many seasons, including with the Miami Dolphins, and has worked with a lot of terrific people around the league. And you'd expect he's a little bit more involved, well-versed in those units. I wonder if UNLV is going to try and get some points. If they are, they're going to have to do it in a hurry.
Well, the one thing you don't want to see if you're Tony Sanchez is to see your team dial it down here at all. They got to have some incentive and some push.
Yeah, I think it's important for them to try and get some points and feel like they're back in this game.
They'll run. They'll get a good carry there by Lexington Thomas.
Thomas once again the ball carrier. Ball's at the 32-yard line. It'll be 3rd down for the Rebels.
Rebels looking at 3rd down and 5 as the game clock winds on. They don't get much. Maybe the line of scrimmage.
Charles Williams, the ball carrier.
Williams carries for UNLV. Game clock inside, 5 minutes left. They'll run. They'll get the 1st down. Problem is the clock's going to keep moving.
Williams, the ball carrier. That's a 1st down for UNLV.
Very inconsistent effort, I think, if we're grading out UNLV today.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Drop balls, penalties. Just too much negativity that way. Stanton's going to throw. He's got time. He will throw it and complete on a comeback route. Good grab by McKee Stevenson.
What you want to see here from Coach Sanchez's standpoint, Dan, is you want to see them work a 2-minute drill. Hustle up, tempo, get to the line of scrimmage. This is an opportunity to practice some things in live competition that you can't necessarily do when you're back in Las Vegas.
They run, and Central Michigan all over that Rebel backfield. Thomas on the carry, but he's got nowhere to go.
Thomas, the ball carrier. Contained by 94, Alex Nearing. It'll bring up 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15 as the Rebels try to rev up for one last push. That's complete to Stevenson, far side, but it's barely back to the line of scrimmage.
Isn't it amazing? You finally get a throw right there. Because of the loss on 1st down, that's just getting you back to the line of scrimmage. It's just deflating.
3rd and 10 for UNLV. Good throw there and a completion. They hook up with Stevenson again. Can't get anything after the catch, though. It's at the 40, 38-yard line, about a yard short.
They'll bring in David Green, the senior captain, who converted on 4 different short yardage situations last week. Number 22, there he goes again.
Wow, look at that. Big run on 4th down and a first down pickup. David Green, they haven't used him much, but he's started to do some good things late for UNLV. From the 23, Stanton rolling, throwing, too high. Indicative of everything that UNLV has done wrong today. Just can't connect on plays they should have.
He's trying to move the pocket because they've had pressure in his face all day. I understand that you want to do that. He's just got to be a little bit more aware. He's got to bring that football down. Been really high today on a lot of throws.
Here's the run. Not much there for Charles Williams. Caught near side.
Stanton's pass is caught.
Is Stevenson.
That'll be a first down.
Give him a first down. Listen, you're still trying to get points here. There's something to build off of this. Late in games, these touchdowns that don't really mean much to you or I or anybody else, it means a lot to the players, especially when you get on this plane. You don't want to be held scoreless in the second half.
Yeah, the second half shutout does not sit well in film sessions.
No.
3rd down and 6 from the 19. In the end zone, too high, incomplete. That was going to be tough. He wanted Boyd.
Stanton's pass is incomplete.
Devontae's game has not been what he usually gets from himself. Devontae Boyd is going to have a lot of great Saturdays going forward for UNLV, but today will not be one of them. Central will bring the pressure, and they will stop that run in the backfield. Thomas on the carry, but boy, Central Michigan, I think this game is more indicative of Central's defense than it is UNLV's offense.
I think that's a good point. I brought that up a little earlier, too. I mean, they were a #1 defense in the conference last year. He's wide open. Oh, man.
Overthrown.
And Price is just running a corner route. He's wide open. That should be easy pitch and catch. You might make that throw, Dan. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I take it back. I take it back.
TBD.
No, I take it back. I've seen that arm.
The cannon, the laser.
Did you see that call last night in the Baylor-Rice game when there was some idiot in the stands is putting a laser on the field, and the official comes out and says, "Stop shooting lasers at the field." I felt like I was watching Star Wars or something.
So incomplete, and that's a break for us here at Mount Pleasant. Central Michigan wanting to put the finishing touches on a 3-0 start against UNLV.
What's it like to be in good hands? Like finding new ways to be taken care of.
Home, car, life insurance, obviously.
But with added touches you can't get everywhere else, like claim-free rewards? Or safe driving bonus checks. Oh, yes. Even a claim satisfaction guarantee.
In means protection plus unique extras. Only from an expert Allstate agent.
It's good to be in good hands.
The Hyundai Tucson versus the Ford Escape. Estimated fueling costs and routine repairs? The Ford's higher.
What's happening, guys? Very funny. Ha, ha, ha.
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
You know that moment? The one you always hear about. When the plan comes together. The game slows down. your time to shine under the lights. Welcome to Scottrade. Whether you know where you're going or need guidance to get there, we're here to help. Now is your moment.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
¿Crees que habrá alguien tan interesante como él?
No es fácil saberlo.
Work for it, work for it. Come on now. You ready to quit? Tired? Good. You think this is hard? This is the warm-up. Playtime's up. Let's do it again.
Central Michigan's second half, a dominant second half as they put the hammer down on the Rebels from UNLV. And backup quarterback in for CMU. And it won't mean much when all is said and done.
Matt Krause, your ball carrier.
Tommy Lazzaro not listed on the depth chart at quarterback for CMU, but he's going to finish this game out. As we take a look at the scores in the MAC West, maybe the big shock, Western Michigan going for back-to-back wins in the Big Ten. They lead at Illinois 27-10. Toledo beating another Mountain West team 52-17. Northern Illinois trailing in their game. Ball State looking good at home. 2nd and 4.
Krause once again the ball carrier.
And they run again. Matt Krause, the ball carrier on the last 2 carries. Here's what's on the road ahead for Central Michigan. So they'll try to put that 3-0 record on the line at Virginia. And then, oh, does MAC play start with a doozy? 2 weeks from today.
October 1, buddy. Row the boat.
Yes, P.J. Fleck will row that boat from Kalamazoo to Mount Pleasant. And that's going to end our football game here in Mount Pleasant today. Central Michigan, an up and down first half for the Chippewas, but it was all CMU in the 3rd and 4th quarters. And John Bonamigo will shake hands and take Central to a 3-0 record. UNLV dropping off to 1-2. Your impressions on this game today?
Well, my impressions of Central Michigan haven't changed. I knew that they were a terrific football team, a complete team, offensively and defensively. Want to clean some things up on special teams. UNLV, I think, they've got an uphill battle here, but I like what Coach Sanchez is doing with their program. Fans should be excited about the youth and the fact that he is going to be able to go out and recruit kids and bring them and turn Las Vegas into a place that's going to have a powerhouse football program. But, hey, listen, those Chippewas, they've got a chance here to do something special. Go on the road again next week to beat potentially another Power 5 team. Hey, let's have some conversation about the Chippewas being in the top 25 at some point.
7 touchdowns for Cooper Rush. For my partner, Dustin Fox, I'm Dan Gutowski. So long from Mount Pleasant. 44-21, our final score. To watch this game on replay as well as the other games on our family of networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.